That's inflation, and it's just
it's something we did.
all that good stuff. So
$1.50's cheap. What you mean?
it used to be $1.
Yeah, it used to be like 10 for $1.50 or something like that.
Well, that was also a
So
special.
they're jipping you 2 nuggets.
Did you trust the Nuggets before the change?
My
That's
friend,
a
I
good
didn't eat the
question.
nuggets until they were $1.
Beautiful. Cool.
Because
Okay,
I eat
they're
cheap.
fine.
I eat
Montel,
cheap
back in my day, I could go buy a gallon of gas, a Coca-Cola, and a candy bar with $5 and have $1.27 in change.
My friend, I could go buy a candy bar, a Coke, and gas for $5 right now. As long as I can steal the Coke and the candy bar.
The Chimera made. That's an interesting
And
name.
you wouldn't get very far either.
Actually, my car would.
Guys, we have over 5. We're almost at 600 viewers right now.
Well, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Okay.
all you people who have suddenly been suckered into this live.
Suddenly sucker.
Don't, you'll scare them away.
Sorry,
Okay, so,
sorry.
This is what happens when you let one of my weird rants about quality of food versus money spent.
Jason White says, don't question the nuggets, just eat them.
You know what? That's a fair point.
All right.
Have we got mods?
I've got mods for YouTube. Dirk, if you would kindly, if she's available, if you'd ask.
I'll ask her and see what she.
All right. If not, I believe I saw Jason White on here. I think Jason, I've got you set for a mod, correct?
I'm in the with me. Hell yeah.
Taco Bell made me do it.
Don't get me started on Taco Bell.
Look what they talk about.
Taco Bell.
You don't talk about.
Give me human gorilla armed arch with dinosaur. Okay, that's getting deep into it. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
This is.
All right, so yeah, Jason, if you wouldn't mind just keeping an eye on one of my very trusted mods and a long-time subscriber from Missouri, way up there in the north.
Hey,
Oh,
YouTube's active.
Ghost Sniper Recon. If any, they have yet had the opportunity to lay the dragon. So, all right. So with that, thank you all very, very much. If you have any questions for us, please wait until around 8 o'clock. We'll take a short break. We'll gladly answer questions and engage everyone. But I'm going to turn off my tablet from TikTok because I will need it to try to kill my players later.
I will say the 2 people I would expect to try to lay the dragon first is one of these 2. Or both of them together.
To be fair, you did lay a Drake Ward, I guess.
4.
Huh?
Why not the Dragonborn?
That's also true.
Because he doesn't have enough confidence yet.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
When someone sends a message but doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's just,
All right, so.
and they have already.
All right. With that, we will go ahead and use this. As I always say, use this as the point when I'm doing the editing later on, which I've got it. This week has been hectic. I've got the other episode already. I just got to load it to YouTube. Yeah. With that, welcome everyone to the weekly showing of the Natural One, the Legends of Faeterra. As always, we are coming to you live from the Hive in Macomb, Mississippi, the amazing role play room they have here. We've got some announcements to get into first, starting with a question. The question is, what is Reaper? Thank you so much to the good folks over at Reaper, an amazing company, makers of fine quality tools as such here behind me, the Meritus axes, the Meridian swords. If you can see them on either side of the case here. These and so many more amazing items we found at their website, reaper.com, the link to which is in my link tree on my TikTok main site. They just came out with an amazing looking cleaver style knife. Has like a raised dragon scale handle. It's really, really cool. So yeah, thank you very much to Reaper for sponsoring me. Also, thank you to the Hive here in Macomb, Mississippi, as always, letting us use this amazing rentable roleplay room to bring you the shenanigans that we do every week. A personal announcement for myself is that after a lot of trial and error and finally, just getting the gumption, I have a Patreon now. There's currently wonderful tier of them that sign up for it. And at the end of every one of the fully edited Natural One episodes, I will do a thank you screen with all the patrons' names listed on there. As I'm able to do more and more tiers, there'll be bigger and better rewards for the higher tiers. But thank you all so very, very much for getting me to the point where I can do something like this. So again, without you guys, Southern D&D would just be a weird old nerd from Mississippi just talking to himself, as opposed to a weird old nerd from Mississippi talking to like almost 15,000 of you. Hi, don't think about it. So speaking of weird old nerds talking, we cut now to one half.
What? I am exactly that, sir. Do not condescend me.
It's a great segue.
We cut now to one half of the duo known as the Fleet Street Geeks. Jeff, take it away.
Hello, I'm Jeff with the Fleet Street Geeks. We have just got finished recording Cutthroat Island. It is not the softcore porn movie I thought it was. and but we got finished with that. It will be out in another day or so on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. And next week, Dune 1984.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yes.
Before everyone in this room was born.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie happens. We haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Though. Now,
I
the question
see it though.
is, so this is the first, like the movie one, not the one that was made
The
for.
movie, not the made-for-TV miniseries,
Okay.
is 1984 with Patrick Stewart.
Yes, and
Sting.
yeah.
Sting.
Yep.
You get to see Sting in this video or shit.
Easy there, Grim.
Oh god. But anyway, that will be our next one. Is Dune 1984. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I can't wait to read a new one. Because I've read the book and I've seen the remake, and I got opinions.
So kind of a funny story about that. When I got here today, he told me like the different clues. And I've been trying to think over his all day. And so I'm sitting there and like this story about how like somebody had turned the movie Footloose into a book had popped his in. It was made into a book. They did an old movie that was remade recently. So Jeff, it's Footloose, isn't it? But I forgot it also said that this was the movie that inspired George R. R. Martin. The book that inspired George R. R. Martin to write a song of Fire and Ice. So yes, the well-known inspiration for the Game of Thrones. It's Footloose.
George R. R. Martin inspired so much by Footloose, he had to make Song of Ice and Fire.
The Dune makes more sense.
No, I like Kevin Bacon.
You know what? I like Kevin Bacon. You will be my Jon Snow.
I'm
Anyway,
okay with that. So,
but yes, that will be what's coming up. If you wish to email us any more movie ideas or just comments or sarcastic remarks, whatever you want, just email us at fleetstreetgeeks@gmail.com. Possibly we'll read your email on the podcast.
lovely. Speaking of podcasts, I've received word that Penguin, welcome to the podcast, welcome to the show. By the way, folks, you can't see Montel. He's got a little monocle thing going on right there. Somebody take it away before he hurts himself. The podcast that I do here with the amazing owner of the Hive, James Bardwell, known as Playing with Advantage, will be live this Thursday with our pilot episode. We just finished doing a beginning of a series of episodes we're going to start doing where we discuss the various classes of Dungeons and Dragons. And because I am just a complete and utter genius, I thought that in the alphabet, D came before B, so that's why we went with Bard first and not Barbarian.
Well, if you told the Barbarian, they wouldn't know the difference anyway.
That's fair. So this Thursday, look for Playing with Advantage, an informative podcast about the various histories, origins, aspects of the tabletop role-playing genre as a whole. Thank you very much. Look forward to the review of Dune. Cannot wait for it. You notice, as you will notice, that the other half of the geeks, Mr. Seth is not here yet.
Yes.
He will be here a little bit later, as he has this was the final show of a production he was doing of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, So warning, folks, you want to keep a counter. I'm going to try to do as many Charlie Brown, Easter eggs and illusions as I can in this game tonight. So if you want to keep a running tally, that'd be great.
Yes.
So we've got Reaper, we've got the Fleet Street, we've got my podcast, we've got the Hive. Have I forgotten anything? I guess not.
Get that out of your eye before it takes it out.
Montel, thank you.
There you go.
So somebody take the lid away from the. Okay.
Fuck's sake.
With that,
God, you fucking.
Montel. With that, folks, we now pull
I think I know
ourselves.
which one of us is the Sam Riegel
Yep.
equivalent.
Yep. As we come now into the game. For those of you who are freshly joined this evening, a quick introduction starting on my right with the man, the myth, the walking arsonist himself.
I'm Ricky. I'm playing Finnigan Tenderfoot, the Halfling Wizard Rogue.
I'm Ben. I'm playing Rakara, the Emerald Dragonborn, Divine Soul Sorcerer / Samurai Fighter.
Okay.
Almost said it.
I'm Jeff. I'm going to play Grim, the half-orc barbarian.
I'm Beck. I'm playing Fenrir, the half-elf ranger druid.
I'm Michael. I'm playing Nathanael, the warlock rogue.
Ah, yes, a name change.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am Derek. I am playing Sondrin, our cleric, or drow cleric, I should say.
Our missing member, by the way, is Seth. He is, I believe, at Avatar Seth on the various different social medias. He plays Kieran Steadybrook, a fighter ranger. And I am Kenneth, aka Southern D&D, across the various platforms. And I am the game master. I am the teller of stories. I am the big kahuna. So with that, as we pull back into the world of Faeterra, a quick recall of what happened in the previous episode, beginning with Finriel and Grim carrying unconscious Montel back to the estate. Montel waking up along the way, and you depositing him in his room. Montel gifting 25 platinum pieces, to which Finriel realizing just how much money that was in my world. By the way, in my world, a platinum piece is 100 gold pieces. So Montel just bribed Finriel with, a small fortune.
I when I bribe, I do not bribe small.
Smartly, because he already knew the information I wasn't telling him.
Grim noticed a strange, large red-furred entity moving at high speeds through the city toward the house. Noticing a Finnigan and Sorndon riding the back of this giant red panda. The Crimson Floof.
The Crimson Floof.
Take points, Mr. Race. That was perfect time. I love that. The Crimson Floof. Fenrir and Grim quickly moving out of the estate. Grim, your arm's still broken from the previous day's encounter. As Finnigan and Finriel arrive, Nathanael, moving up onto the top of your house. While all of this is happening over at the Grey Oak Tavern, Rakara and Kieran gathering up the young dragonborns, the hatchlings as they're still called, to bring them to your estate to care and watch over them until essentially you can find out what to be done with them. A quick cart ride over, which then led to basically a date night with Finriel and Grim, going after leaving a cleric after getting killed, going through the various different shows in the Kendall district, finding such shows as the Elf and the Exhibitionist, the taming of the taming of the, I forget which one, but the one that I cannot forget because I've tried is Tabaxis. Because in my mind, there were no Tabaxis in the actual cast. It was like a non-Tabaxi races dressed up as Tabaxi.
Which, again, isn't that almost like blackface?
Cultural appropriation.
As you left one of the shows, Hemlock, the now city marshal of Port Blayven, running into you, actually was on his way to your estate, gives you a journal, a ledger of some kind with various information of Gravik to maybe see if you can make any heads or tails of the information. Back at the estate, Sondrin has went down to the basement after a conversation with Nathanael, kind of telling him to be on your guard, to be careful about this new entity, this Athmanox, your new acquaintance is the word Sondrin used. Then Sondrin, after sending you on your way, settling down to begin a ritual of some kind. Montel walking out just as an NPC, a new NPC appeared. Spadaria Thacker, the member in good standing of the Port Blayven Carpentry Guild, there to repair the various parts of your house fallen repair, starting with the large door at the front, giving the carpentry motto of "If it ain't broke, we didn't fix it." So the following well, after the day begins to end, all of you are finding your way back to the estate. The dragonborn children making their way down to the dining hall, where a new table was built, seemingly within the matter of moments by this gnomish carpenter. As the children begin to relax and begin to trust you more, you notice that as they relaxed, a metallic gleam came to their chromatic scales. Rakara, realizing that these children are known as platinum touch, chromatic dragonborns, that somewhere in their lineage is metallic blood. It's considered a blessing of Muhammad. Finnigan, you reading the ledger, teleporting yourself, Rakara, and then Nathanael to Iron Haven, to the Lexicon Sophies there, to speak with your mentor, Lady Lialeva, arriving to find her absent. Speaking to the underling there, realized that she had been hired on to come deal with some old enchantments in an area that an area known as the Broken Tusk Isles, this chain of islands that you are now becoming all too familiar with. Leaving the Lexicon, heading to her tower, kind of hinting that this was. Did you let them know that this was where this was your home, or is that still kind of? So I know Nathanael went out looking for a contact. We'll get to what happened to that in a moment, because that was interesting.
None of them asked in character, so
Okay.
I just saw me pull out a key, and I assume they surmised, but no one has asked me anything. So Finnigan has said nothing.
Got you. You returned her office a letter addressed to you, ending with the moniker that she gave you so long ago, Tenderfoot. Nathanael, while this is happening, you, with your new powers, your newfound pact, not having to sleep, walking the different streets, finding the one storefront where Tavish, your former coterie contact, was that building still now lit up. Recognizing somebody keeping watch at the front, you are led in and come face to face with Clarice Kentris. For a moment, fearing for your life as you think, that you're about to be attacked, then revealing that he is a member of the Cathedral of Shadows. And after clearing away the infestation that was the vampire guild here in Iron Haven, the Cathedral has moved in and started basically taking over it. Allowing conversation, you basically now have a new contact here within Iron Haven. Mm-hmm. But the big point of the evening was the Emerald Dragonborn, who up until this point, folks, every time that there was even the mention of a card from a deck of many things, he was the one, no, we don't want this, I don't want it, no, we sell it, get rid of it. And yet he was the one who finally pulled a card, uttering the word hope. And oh, what a card he pulled, the Sun card, instantly leveling up the entire party by one level. Mm-hmm. So, as night has fallen across Faeterra, the winter air now, the winter season now fully beginning to set in. We will open our story the morning after a massive fight with the all that happened within one day, by the way. The fight with the dragon, the the
Yeah,
adventure, the
yeah.
graveyard.
We have busy lives.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah, it's
Lord.
like it took several weeks, but no, it was all one day. We start now in Port Blayven on the first true winter morning, a brisk snowfall that with the hole in the roof, somebody may want to check and see what happened. But we come to with
Speedy.
Grim and Finriel waking to morning sunlight beaming into your window.
Mm.
What are the two of you doing?
I'll make breakfast. Ow.
I'll make sure everything is ready for whenever you and Kieran go into town.
Right. I don't even know what he wants to shop for. He ain't fucking here.
Kieran currently asleep in his room. You
Yeah.
hear the loud. The door opens. Donnie walks out, closes the door, lays back down.
And I see Donnie with a leather helmet, goggles on.
Like Monterey Jack from Rescue.
Grim, as it's the Southwest Camel, yeah. Grim, as you step out of your room down the hall into the foyer, roll perception check.
Yep. That's a total of 7.
7. You are completely unaware, actually startling yourself awake when you hear a familiar voice. Familiar voice go, morning. Just to hear a slight tap.
What?
You see the second door now fully standing again. The gnome carpenter, Speedy, Spidarian Thacker, just tap, tap, tap. Wearing something a little bit different today. No longer the kind of like just like the farmer's clothes. He actually has like a fur jacket on, a kind of a larger fur cap, little like earmuffs on the side. Almost fixed your door, friend. Tap, tap.
Thank you. If you ever get the chance, you might want to go upstairs. There's a hole in the roof.
Already taken care of. I sent my youngins up there to deal with that one. Tap, tap. Sure enough, in the distance, you hear an echo. Tap, 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 tap.
See if I can keep time.
All right. So, moving through the dining hall into the kitchen. Roll your performance check with advantage, sir. You're in your kitchen.
Do this. 18 plus my perform check, which is where are you? 4, so 22.
22. Again, the Waffle Tavern Jedi doing what he does best. Literally in time. Tap, 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 tap. Basically, there is a chorus of things, of metal tinging, of things fried. Just it's music.
Makes an onion volcano.
Finriel, eventually you step out, seeing the little small gnomish figure standing in the doorway. Morning, tap. You can also hear it. Tap, 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 tap.
Then we'll ease past him to go out to the stables.
Okay.
Where everything is still stored.
As you move out, a fresh layer of snow covering the entire grounds. Looks like a good, 6-8 inches of snow fell in the night. As you move through the bare tree that Rakara has set up, covered in white all over, except around the base. There's about a 5-foot cleared spot of any snow right around the Bahamut statue, the Bahamut shrine. So you easily make your way out to the stable. What are you doing out there?
I am going to get the bit of wishbone
Okay.
and part of the wing that has been set aside.
Gotcha.
I'm going to bundle those together, put them in a satchel to be carried. Take that back inside and then begin writing out instructions on parchment.
All right.
I'll set up in the kitchen for that so that we're all
Gotcha.
nearby whenever the hatchlings come
Gotcha. Let's see, make a roll for them. It doesn't take long, actually. The smells filling the house. You soon hear doors opening, small feet on stone and marble as they are slowly beginning to filter in. The four of them just kind of standing in the dining room to the kitchen. The doorway to the dining room is kind of looking, watching Grim. You see the has a very large like waiter slot. You can easily see Grim in there. Like throws a pancake, does something over here, then not even looking, just goes, boom, catches it, sets it down, just like this. This is his element. He is at home.
He's somehow strangely super dexterous as he's doing this, but
He's moving 4 plates with one hand.
It's like, and even like this one, you're picking up measuring cups, tapping them out, pouring like perfect, something about this.
measuring cups. It's just, oh, that looks good.
True Waffle
No.
House experience.
No one.
So the
Turns out he's been cooking next to his mom like all his
the
life.
entire time, yeah.
Yeah.
So if everyone's here, you're currently sitting at the dining room table, the large, now like oak and birch table. So he's writing all this out. You see the four children kind of coming in.
Invite the kids inside.
Like they don't even they rush to chairs. Like you see them kind of like tussling. They get various seats around the table. Like each of them taking like a corner seat.
Let's serve the kids first.
So
if they want to sit in the corner seat, sure.
So what did you cook? What did you make for them?
It's going to be a mixed hash of home fries, some onion, peppers, ham diced, and eggs all mixed together into one thing, and then wrapped in a spinach bun.
Breakfast wraps. I like it.
Yes.
Hide the fact that there's something healthy as well.
It's green. They're dragons. They're also green. They're going to love it.
You watch a couple kind of poke at it. They look over to the smallest one, the white dragonborn. She's like already halfway through it. Those three are like they're starting. And as soon as they bite into it, this like again that metallic gleam slowly coming to their scales. They just start eating this amazing breakfast you made.
See what I tell you. Anyway. What?
Right here.
Oh, wait.
So,
yeah. Is Sordra ready?
I forgot he was downstairs.
We all forgot he was downstairs until this mysterious pigeon came to the window and said,
He just walks in. There's a person
Do you
in
have a
the
place
face.
for him? I'll take some down real quick.
I'll give him a plate. Here, you probably want to. He's been doing whatever the fuck he's been doing down there forever.
Probably. Grab a couple of drinks to take with it.
Finriel, as you make your way down past the training hall into the basement area. Sondren, are you in the proper basement or in your area?
I'm in the proper basement, as close to under the kitchen area as I can get.
Without having to go.
Because I do what.
Without having to go through that area, or because the area you uncovered, that inner area, that sits directly beneath the kitchen, the dining room.
Yeah, I'm basically sitting in that doorway.
Okay, so as you step down, you see several bricks of have formed, which is a hidden door that stands open. Sondren sitting in there, almost in like a lotus position, breathing, meditating. Sondren, I've looked at the spell over and over again. As long as you maintain concentration, and you can attack and do things. You can have a conversation as long as you don't exert yourself. So
Gotcha.
So you sense the presence of Finriel approaching, and your nostrils kind of flare as you smell Grimm's great home cooking.
Brought you breakfast.
Well, all right, what we got today?
It's green and the kids like it.
The kids like it.
Grim hash burrito.
That's fair.
I'll bring it over and set it next to me.
Yeah, it seems like you just have to still remain in that position is also, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be up after a while, and if anything weird goes on upstairs, it's fine. Just don't worry about it.
You know Montel's with us,
Grim's
right?
orgy senses are tingling.
Actually, Grim, roll me a perception check.
Oh God.
Because, Soren, it's been at least 12 hours, correct?
Well, that's actually fun then.
You started-
Yes, it's been 12 hours.
Yeah. So you would see it.
It's a dirty 20.
So as you're sitting there, like, Cookie, you begin to, you're hearing the children conversation, it's actually really, really good. You got, maybe he can make us more sauce. No, scarasi.
I'm getting about 50-50. I'm learning.
I love it. Take a part of inspiration, Grim. Because I forgot, like, Finriel was teaching you Dragonborn, so you don't think any different. That's great. So back now to Finriel and Sorndrin.
So far, every time Montel has said that, no one has died yet. So, okay.
Just out of character real quick, except Montel.
Except Montel, fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we don't count that.
I haven't witnessed that, though.
that's true.
I promise it's not Montel level. It'll be beneficial for everybody.
That I
I'm
believe.
pretty sure.
Jeff, I can read your thought right now.
What?
Montel dying would be beneficial for everyone too.
No, it's not. I got an
Less
upgrade.
stress on my back.
I got an upgrade where I died last time. What you mean?
I'm not sure how long are you going to need to be down here?
I'll be up around 5. What's all the extra noise going on upstairs?
At the moment, there's a carpenter here, and I think there may be more of one of him fixing things.
Oh, I was about the carpenter. I kind of figured that with the door, all the issues we've had. I'm hearing extra voices. Do we have company or
Oh.
something?
Rakara brought the hatchlings last night.
Oh, okay. So are they staying well?
I think so. I forgot I didn't know that. I believe so. They've been set up in rooms, and before we really had a chance to have a conversation about it, Finnigan took them away. Montel and Rakara and Finnigan are no longer here.
You just made me sound like a kidnapper. Just saying.
You almost made me not take money, so yes, you would have been a
Well,
kidnapper.
the way I felt like the way she was saying,
pacing
I
of it
took
kind
the
of,
kids away.
Oh no, the kids are still here. Rakara is no longer here. So I'm not sure what the plan is with that.
Did they say going?
Did Finnigan say where they were going? I don't.
I'm pretty sure. I said it was.
Yeah,
Iron
Oh,
Haven.
Ironhaven. Yes, they went to Ironhaven,
To the library.
to the library.
Say
I
again,
hope someone's Montel.
Montel, yeah.
Finnigan is not a chaperone, by the way.
Montel wandered away and no one thought to make sure where he
Almost as if an answer to the question, we now pull away from Port Blayven and move instead to the streets of Iron Haven, one of the oldest cities in Waldweir. And we focus on a human walking through the streets in the early morning light. Nathanael.
Mhm.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for the Courier's Guild. I have a message to send.
Easily found. Courier's Guild is open all hours of the day.
I sent a message to my brother saying, asking him if everything's okay with Dad. Mostly because I haven't talked to them in forever, and death does things.
Fair enough.
Montel had him.
I thought he was just an amoeba that evolved.
That's what I thought. Like he just birthed from a petri dish.
A single brain cell organism.
Now, this is to your younger
This is to
brother?
my older brother.
Your older, so Jocelyn.
Yeah, because I'm the youngest brother.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Now that does explain a lot.
As you go, as you hand the message to the Gillen goes, and how would you like this delivered, sir? To the Isle of Perth at the normal rate would be roughly about 2 weeks to get there. However, for 4 gold, we can have it done express, and we'll get there within 4 days.
I'll do the express.
Very well, sir. You actually takes this carved, almost like metal canister, takes your metal, wraps it up, and sets it. And he manipulates it. You watch as the runes light up and it shrinks down to a small size, pulling down a large raptor-like falcon, like a peregrine falcon, attaching it, and then he goes, "It will be there in 4 days." He goes and releases it, and just things taking off.
And then after that, it's getting morning time, so I know Rakara's up early, so I'm gonna go to the house I left them.
Okay. What may I look roll?
Nope. 9.
So, your path actually takes you by a familiar building. Once the brothel known as, my God, that was a long
Right, it was a long
Just
time.
some crack drugs.
No, that was Jesus, wow. I had it for a moment. The bottom's up.
There we go.
Bottoms up.
Yes.
You see it now stands empty. Windows boarded up, doors boarded up. Looks like nobody has come to, reinvigorate the House of Ill Repute.
Interesting.
You also remember that beneath that there was a pathway that led up from the Dwarven Deep Roads. That at the time in disguise, Kieran had used to make his way up with the coterie members.
I'm gonna just keep that information in mind and keep going. I don't want to disappear.
Just all right.
I did that once I died.
As the sun now fully crests over the eastern horizon, it can be about 7 in the morning is when you stand at the base of the tower. What do you do?
I first start with just a knock on the door.
There you go. Finnigan, as you're asleep in your room, the magic of the tower amplifying the knock, you hear it echoing throughout the tower. Yeah, had you tried just to grab the door, bad things would happen.
All right, I'll get up, walk downstairs.
As you walk to the door, a large crystal, almost like a window about a foot by foot in the middle of it. Montel, outside, you see the two eyes of the door knocker begin to glow a bright blue, and you see a magically produced picture of Montel, or Nathanael as he is now, on that little pane.
I don't know who Nathanael is.
So Montel.
Does he see me as well?
No, you just see him.
All right.
But I see the eyes glowing, so
You
I
do
give
see the eyes
I
kinda
give the eyes away.
I'll go open the door.
You reach up, turn the first knock, and Montel, you feel and see like dozens of protective wards just kind of deactivate as the door opens. Finnigan is standing there.
You see me in a nightgown with a cap that has the little ball
Off to one
comes
side.
down.
Little like leather slip-on house shoes as well.
Yep.
Want me to start making breakfast for us?
No.
If I can.
No? Okay.
Not in my cap. Just 7 pepper beans for a
So-
snap.
Finnigan, where is Rakara sleeping? Did you give him like someone like a guest room?
Yeah,
is?
he would have been in. I would have gotten him a guest room. They were always prepared.
Yep.
So.
Rakara, you get a sense that every space of wall in this home is made use for as a bookshelf. So even though the guest room you're in is very tidy, very neat, there are just there are 3 walls just covered in books. Any place where a shelf could be added, a book put in. But even though there are so many, each one of them is given so much attention. There's no dust to it. It is very meticulously placed, and even you see it like a category, like a small tab on the bottom for categorizing.
Oh, that's good. You said this is about 7.
About 7-1.
I was gonna have like 6:30 trying to make breakfast. Finding a kitchen somewhere.
Roll a performance check.
Performance?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I showed you where the kitchen was
The
last time.
grimace on his face.
No, great.
Hey.
18 plus 8 is 26, I believe.
Yeah.
Why weren't you the bard?
Because he was a sorcerer.
Well, now he can be the sorcerer, paladin-ish bard.
Rakara, there aren't a lot of like extensive food because she's been gone for so a lot of that food that she'd either taken with her or she hasn't replaced yet. But eggs, salted pork, your ham, that kind of stuff, things that would keep long times. You were fine. And a simple breakfast of eggs and grits and you find some bread that is still relatively fresh with the larder, and you're able to produce a tasty, if not simple, breakfast.
Yeah, I'll make it for everybody in Montel. Might smell coffee drinking there at this point.
So the 3 of you find yourself gathered on a small, kind of circular style table, so it's maybe at most 5 people. What are the 3 of you doing?
Where you been?
Walking
Walking where?
the town.
Anything interesting?
No.
Interesting for us, put it that way.
Real quick,
No.
when you sent the message to Jostin, where did you have the return point marked? Iron Haven or Port Blayven?
Port Blayven.
Port Blayven, okay.
Home.
Gotcha.
Are we returning back to Port Blayven now or later today?
Later today.
What's on your agenda?
I believe there are going to be some answers to some of these questions that we've had in the book that they allowed you to see.
I was thinking about that too. I was hoping not to go back looking at that book, but
Well, I don't need you to, but I would like to prepare myself for going there. I know that book is dangerous and I wouldn't want to go in unaware and unprepared.
it's. Can I just explain to him and as much possible about Clovis?
Clovis. Klophis. Clovis.
He was a mad mage and he tried to got sucked in the book of his own making. It's not him.
Lest he
But
got
it's-
sucked into it, he basically pulled a Sauron. Into this book, he poured his own intelligence, his own malice, his own disdain for life. And in a way, the book has taken on a sort of sentience. You don't read the book so more as you ply it with questions, or you hold a specific topic in your mind, and the book reads that and brings the information to you.
So he's not exactly alive. It's just a.
Clothic is dead. It's basically, I'll use a term that everybody knows, it's basically a Horcrux. It holds a part of him in a sense.
I was wanting to go down to the vaults anyway.
Also, an interesting note on your hatchlings. You would probably do well in teaching them some of your sorceress magic.
Sorceress magic isn't so much taught as you can
it's not taught by books,
Right.
but you can teach, it's a force of their own willpower.
Yes.
And so, you know, you can teach them how to channel that energy yourself much better than I could. I can teach them magic through books and learning, but they already have a certain strength and gift within themselves now.
I could probably help teach them.
No, you can't, because you didn't learn anything anyway.
Yes, I did.
Just, I did have something to ask you later. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll pull out, you listening? I'll pull out the loots I got from Reed. It's a little bit a little bit different. It has metal strings.
What? I don't know who the hell Reed
Instead of
is.
nylon, so it's like a Reed's metal plates. And
Take a form of inspiration,
You
Rakara.
too. We'll slap the shit out of both of y'all when you get back, 'cause I know you had something to do with it.
no, we didn't.
I'll look through all of it.
I was not involved. I did not know this was a thing.
Anyway, at the tree, I heard this chorus, and I can sing, but I don't know how to play instruments. And can you tune this to what I heard? If I am able to repeat back what I heard to you?
Possibly.
Okay.
Montel is part of what you gave up. You're no longer proficient with instruments.
I know. That's why Montel's putting it like that.
Just reminding you again.
Yeah.
Ah,
I possibly could, but you'd be better off learning someone else.
no. Okay.
He sacrificed his natural talents for the weaker gifts of a wimpy god.
Anyway, okay. Put it back in the bag.
I'll give you powers on Tuesday for your talents today. For your talents. Wimpy deity.
I suppose this may be a conversation we can have later, once we're all at more coffee.
Okay.
So, what time's later?
Whenever I want it to.
Normally opens at 9.
Whenever.
But yeah, he has a key.
Oh, better question. What time do magic shops and various shops usually open in?
Most stores open around, run like 9 to 5, 9 to 6.
I'd rather wait till official opening time.
Yeah, I don't have any keys to those.
That's why I say
I
official opening time.
mean,
I could probably get us in, but
Yeah.
I could get us in.
No.
It's getting us out that would be the problem.
I can get it, but anyway.
As you finish your breakfast, where are you heading?
Finnigan, do you happen to have a room I could cast a ritual in real quick?
no.
No. Okay.
Finnigan has been very passive aggressive towards you for the last 24 hours. Very short and passive aggressive.
Well, yeah, you're.
I mean,
What
that's nothing different than normal, so.
No, this is way worse. Like more than just sarcasm and, you know, Finnigan being short.
I would mind, if it's not on the way, just make a slight detour to that magic shop
Finnigan's on.
we visited way back when.
Oh,
I'm not sure the name of it anymore.
the Dragon's Horde?
Nope,
Uh,
that's
that
the
was
one in
Lomtra. That's
Lomtra.
Yeah,
Lomtra.
that's one trip.
That's Lomtra.
I don't remember the name. I remember they had a certain set of armor there. That's what I wanted to
Wow,
know.
that's okay. Yeah, they didn't know.
We're going back.
Way back.
That's that's the frog hemoth. Thanks, Montel. This is so much better. Dealing with Ecclehart.
Oh, jeez. That was right after I got there.
Let's see
Well, the good news is I've been wondering all night, so I can take you to wherever you need to go, pretty much.
Let's see, back in Lamtra.
Yeah, I'm having trouble.
Let's see, there's the wearable. Here we go. Okay. Okay, now we're in the right spot. Jesus, wow, this is going way back.
Internal consistency.
The last drop in? I guess it was a place that.
Wow, Rakara, you're really making me dig for this, aren't you?
Well, sorry.
I
No,
mean,
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just
if nothing else, you just make up a name on the spot and give it to it.
it's been a while. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually gave a name to it. I apologize.
That's fine, you give it a name now.
The Frozen Prophet.
Frozen Prophet.
Cool. Come on, so roll me an insight check.
19?
How obvious is Finnigan being with the passive aggressive and the snubbing of Monto?
He's. What'd you roll? Perception?
Insight.
No, insight. And what'd you roll?
19.
Oh yeah, it's plainly apparent.
Montel does not care.
Okay. Just
Like, this. Montel's expecting this.
all right. So with that, the three of you step out into the pretty frigid air of Iron Haven.
So good today.
Finnigan, remembering the old smells of home, so to speak. Rakara having bundled up in his coat once more.
Oh, yeah.
Montel, with your new abilities, you feel fine.
I feel fine.
You both sort of a little bit of steam coming off Montel as he kind of walks through the cold air. All right, so the three of you, Finnigan, I'm sure you're sure to lock the door behind you.
Yep.
Yeah. So the three of you begin to make your way into the city of Iron Haven proper. As now we cut back to Port Blayven, where four young dragonborn have just finished their breakfast. A few of them going in there and maybe going for seconds or thirds. Grim having to playfully spat hands out of a cookie jar. But after that, the four of them returning up to their rooms to just play and relax, leaving Finriel and Grim in the dining room. What are you two talking about? What are you doing?
Carol was the one that wanted to go shopping, but he's still not up.
How long until, is it Halifar? Is that who does the magic items here?
Yes,
Yeah.
Halifar Maryfax.
How long until he will be open?
Same, usually 9 to 5, 9 to 6, sort of. And you're approaching 8 o'clock now, so about an hour.
So, I don't know what Kieran was looking for,
No, I have no idea.
but I do have a few errands that I need to run today.
If you need to go and get them done, I'll stay here and watch the kids. Just quick question.
Yes.
What is no, don't touch that in Draconic?
Immediately say it. As politely as possible.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I want you to roll me
Here it comes.
wisdom with advantage.
Wisdom. At least it's not a minus. That's a 15.
15.
That's 15.
Checking that, yes or no.
On that, you're sitting, you're repeating, Nasura Sahas, Nasura So I just remember over and over. You'll be able to say it. Yeah.
I think you're right. All right, thank you. I just don't want them touching stuff they're not supposed to. Like, I really don't want them to like cut themselves.
Might want to just make sure the training room is locked.
I did lock it. Go book it, lock the room.
Roll perception.
Oh God. That's a 19.
As you grab the door, you hear a soft ow. Actually, what you hear is like ah. You
Oh, shit.
open it, and you see Yorox is in there, kind of shaking his hand, holding his little wooden sword. You see like a large whelp across the back of his head. It looks like he went to hit, and it basically bounced back and caught him across the hand. The large, like stuffed, thick padded training dummies that are meant to take like swords and iron arrow points.
Right.
That this little small stick just like whacking and bouncing off of.
Okay, not as bad as I thought.
There currently, because everything was sold when he was found out, there are no actual weapons in here. It's just like those large mannequins, empty weapon racks. There's nothing like that to worry about, like him finding weapons.
Right. Good. But he'll go back to Fenrir. Well, have fun shopping. I'm gonna be apparently teaching a kid how to actually hit or mannequin right.
Finnegan, you're giving pause by that for a moment.
It's
Don't
just,
hit him back.
it's
I
just.
trust you.
I'm not hitting the kid. You
Grim,
saw what happened last time. I hit a friend.
Grim, your axe is in an area of like you kind of hang your axe over near the door. You stop, and you walk back into the kitchen, and you get like one of those large flat paddled boards for baking. You're like, piece of wood.
Perfect.
Giant, the big pizza spatula.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a big old pizza spatula, yeah. Piece of wood.
You head
Right.
to the training.
Have fun. Smoochies.
We will get to that. We will get to that scene in a moment. It's gonna be fun.
Go over to the training room and
Finnegan,
teach this
as you
shit.
go to leave, you open the door, you see standing there, finishing packing everything up, Spidarian, Speedy, goes, "Oh, I was just going to let you know I'm all finished. The door's up. My youngins have the hole patched up top. Who do I give this to?" As he pulls out a wrapped, like a rolled up piece of parchment.
I will take that. I assume this may be the bill?
This is the bills. Yes, sir.
Fantastic, thank you.
Look forward to your speedy payment. It just kind of turns, and before he turns back, remember, if it ain't broke, we didn't fix it. Just kind of starts slowly walking away.
Makes no sense.
No, if it wasn't broke, there was no need for them to fix it.
I will shut the door and then open it to see how much we owe.
Parts, labor, time, guild fees. You're sitting at a bill of roughly 1,200 gold pieces.
Man.
Grim's pocket change.
Then we'll roll it back up.
Okay.
Turn. Take it downstairs. Set it next to Sandra.
Sorgren, you just kind of sitting there, your eyes closed. One eye slowly opens. You see Fenrir just set a piece of paper next to you, pats you on the leg, and then runs, heads back up the stairs.
And then I go back upstairs.
All right.
Do you need anything while I'm out? I'm going to go talk to someone about a teleportation circle and then go see Halifar.
No, any business I need to deal with, I would need to go myself, in all honesty, because I don't know how to explain what I would be looking for.
You see a look of relief all over Finn's shoulders. Good luck. Grim's upstairs with the little ones.
Unsupervised?
Most of them are in their room. I think he's in the training room sparring with the oldest, though. And trot up the stairs.
Who's gonna break the arm first?
So, Finreal, as you walk out, you see Severin kind of glide down from an upper point of one of the balconies and falls in line beside you. So where are you heading?
Would Finnigan have told me who I needed to talk to?
Like specifically about?
About the circle.
Yes. Actually, either Halifar would be a good person to talk to about it, or
Perfect.
the town marshal.
Since I'm needing to go to Halifar anyway,
Okay.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Gotcha. It takes about an hour to walk from the wards into the coin district, finding the Devil's Deal. This is your second time here, correct?
Mhm.
So it is a lot busier than your first time. As now, like, it's not just customers, but everyone wants to talk with the latest member of the Council of Port Blayven. Now, sort of a minor, celebrity within the city. They're like, you see, if you don't buy anything, get it. You see actual like guards are kind of walking out, pushing people out. As you step in, a figure, as you step in, this looks to be elven figure, but instead of the normal almost like tan skin of very self, their skin is almost like an autumn red color, autumn gold, as an Eladrin is standing there, wearing the uniform of the Devil's Deal. As she turns to you and goes, welcome, how may I help you, sir?
I have come to speak to someone here about commissioning a few magic items.
Commissioned magic items, that's be under the purview of Mr. Halifar. He, I believe, yes, I believe he's just finishing up with a customer. You point to see Halifar talking to a human female. Yes, she just kind of, and she takes her back and walks. So you see him kind of, he shakes his head and turns, seeing you, Finn, and kind of waves and kind of walks over. He goes, thank you, Umbria. I will take care of my dear friend here. If you were to kind of go, I believe that gentleman over there is eyeing those amulets a little bit too closely. Please keep it out. Thank you. He turns. Finreal, it is amazing to see you. At least now I can ignore everyone else. Oh God, I thought Hemlock was my friend. Why did he put me on the council? And it wasn't his fault. The people elected him. It's fine. What can I do for you today?
Well, if you're wanting an excuse to get away with dealing with a lot of people, I'm here on errands from Finnigan.
And what would the brilliant halfling have me do for him?
I will pull out the parchment with all of the instructions that I remembered about what Finnigan is wanting,
All right.
with the materials in the satchel that I brought.
Okay. Takes them. Finnigan, what is he looking at?
The wishbone and a piece of the dragon's wing.
Okay. What do you try? I mean, rather, what is the instruction? What is he to make?
A cloak out of the membrane, and a wand out of the wishbone. I mean, you don't have to use the whole.
There actually is an item that is made from the wishbone of a dragon. It is a wand.
Gee,
It is a rather wondrous
No idea.
wand.
I legitimately have no idea.
Finnigan, as Finnigan, he sees takes the largest. Is this the wishbone of a dragon?
It is.
He wants a wand made of this.
Yes.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is I can craft him a rod of wonder from it.
The instructions would also say that Halifar can keep whatever materials are left over as part of or all of the payment.
Well, and any specific instructions on the cloak? I don't know, I'm asking in character because you just put any specific instructions that you would leave in the cloak.
I did briefly look one up for that, but it seems pretty OP because there's an actual dragon wing cloak.
It actually is, yeah.
So
it'd be cool. As he was a green dragon, we can work something out. At least give it maybe a bump to AC and a resistance to that kind of thing. Alfar goes, this would to craft a wand from the wishbone, and this would take me the better part of a week. Tell Finnigan I said thank you. Once he gathers the material, the notes, just runs to the back. So, Mr. Hell, I'll be busy. So you see his son's Halifar's private workshop.
So real quick, the initial inspiration I had for the dragon wing thing was the body glide suit.
Oh God!
Finnigan can wear body glide suit. Yeah.
As he turns to go, Finn will go, wait, I have one more question.
Yes.
He's also wanting me to get started on the process of getting a teleportation set up or approved to be set up. Who would I need to talk to for that?
Well, that would need to be put into the office of the council. It would then need to be approved by the city marshal. It would be documented, and with approval of a sitting council member, we can dispatch mages from the Academy Arcane to begin the ritual for a permanent. It is a rather large fee, but it will be allowed in the city. And it's just a one-time payment. Yes, it's just, but that is. He looks around and goes, that is easily obtainable with what you've done for the city. I know Hemlock will easily approve, and if nobody else will, I will gladly give approval as a city council.
That would be much appreciated. And should you need anything else, we do have the remains of a very large dragon.
I believe we can do business. I have some contacts in Marad, specifically within the magisterium down there, that they are often looking for dragon supplies. The Magisterium Arcane is the name of a magocracy that exists, that will be on the eastern shoreline of the Alabaster Coast of Marat. It is at war with the Drusaran Empire, which is on the western coastline. The Alabaster Coast is the middle, with Nirakesh known. This area is basically it's a demilitarized zone, a no combat zone. That's what keeps these two nations from attacking each other. Essentially, yeah, it's the city of it was called the Alabaster Accords. That is what basically said, if you want access to Nirakesh, the only deep water harbor along this coastline, you two will play nice. And now it's the power of the 7 trade lords and the power of the city of Nirakesh that they keep the accords and keep them at bay. A little bit of world politics for you.
Beautiful.
Yes, the Magisterium Arcane and the Drusaran Empire. So, Hellfire goes, just that is easily done. Just you would need to. It's paperwork mainly, and then it is a rather even though it is going to be a private teleportation circle, it is still monitored by the academy to keep certain individuals that from outside using it. And then just because it takes it's going to be roughly every all fees. You're looking at about 35,000 gold pieces. But that is, like I said, a one-time payment. Now, if you knowingly or even unknowingly let anything untoward into the city through it, you would be held responsible.
Absolutely.
But thankfully, the academy and the various safety checks we put into that has never happened since the founding of Port Blayven as it sits today. So, he just gathers up the wing membrane, picks up the large wish by putting over his shoulder. Anything else, Finnigan?
I do believe that is it. If you do need more tasks to distract yourself, just let us know.
I will let you know. And that's the point goes to one. He goes, Mr. Heller, I'm busy, but sir, I'm busy. And you watch it, he goes into his private chambers, slamming the door. The door opens, a sign that gets hung up, do not disturb before being slammed again.
I'll raise my hand to her as I'm leaving. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. As you leave the double deal.
Seb and I will head back towards the house.
Okay.
Mission accomplished.
Grim, as we roll back time, about an hour and a half.
See, he's forgetting to do paperwork. Though.
You hear the front door shut as you step to the training. As you step in up the door, you actually see a decent form as he follows through the solid thwack across one of the larger padded mannequins. So you just kind of win the. What do you do as you watch this? You get a sense he's maybe has seen like somebody because he's going through. It almost looks like a martial artist going through various forms, but instead of you can tell he doesn't know them. He's mimicking them. Like he saw somebody practicing these forms enough that he has watched them, so he's trying to mimic their motions. It's not very precise, but there's potential there. So what do you do as you open the door, as you watch him go through these various forms?
Grim kind of looks at the pizza spatula and leans it against the wall. And he watches for a little bit, watches that he's mimicking what he's clearly seen. And he'll kind of walk up looking and kind of raise his hands.
So the moment where you go to, when you kind of make your presence known, like he kind of turns and startles and just, it's like, it looks like you can tell it's that, he's got that look that most children have when they think they're in trouble, but they've done, he's like, I just have the look of, have I done something where I just, she just kind of, by the way, you notice that while he was doing that fluid movement, that platinum sheen to his scales was shining brighter and brighter. Almost as if something was getting more in touch there with that momentum of combat.
Grim kind of,
and that moment where you see just all went that dull black color.
He kind of raises his hands and like, it's okay. I'm not mad, anything like that. And he's going to see if maybe this one has picked up some comment lately.
Okay.
And he goes, again.
You just kind of see him point to the mannequin.
Again.
He steps back and see him. He kind of
uses his foot and
you see him
budges one leg, puts it in the proper stance, and then comes up behind him.
Take the hand.
And
roll,
hit it.
Roll me a charisma check, adding your weapon proficiencies.
Okay. That's going to be an 18.
Okay, it's enough to advance on the roll. First roll's a 14. Second roll's a base of a 19. Okay. As you do that, you see him just kind of thwack. You see his eyes kind of go wide. You realize it's just two solid hits. And slowly he begins, like you just kind of walk around.
Slowly guiding him through the 9 angles of strike.
Yeah.
It's here. Groin, head, thrust. Those are the 9 angles.
Yep.
9 angles. It's here.
The
groin, head, thrust.
The force of which he's hitting, obviously for a child his age, is not nearly the kind of force a full-grown warrior.
No.
But you can, I mean, a couple of points of damage is what would have equated to, which for a child is very good. But as he's just picking up confidence, moving quicker, thwack, 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 for finally ending with a flourish and just a loud thrust. The sharpened point of the stick actually digging into the hard padded leather, about a good, 1.5 to 2 inches. To the point that when he releases the stick kind of stays, it doesn't like stay straight up, it's kind of like, just kind of steps back. And that's when you realize that he is glowing. There's an actual like aura coming off of him. That black, it's almost like his black scales are now a steel kind of color. He's just kind of, you see him look down and he realizes, he just kind of like startles himself and watches the light quickly fades back to a dull. Roll me an insight check.
Inside. How good am I on inside? It's a straight roll.
Roll with advantage. I'll give you advantage on this.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Because you've been here long enough working with him.
That's 17.
17. Grim, it finally strikes you what's going on with the. You said, like, you remember when they were eating and they were relaxing, and now here when he was practicing combat and movements and forms. When you're raging, you're not a mindless Hulk. You don't go red with rage. There is a portion of your brain that is in control. There's a portion of your brain that is reveling in what you are doing. You are reveling in combat. And you are almost in love. It's that adrenaline that's pumping through you. And you realize it's a similar thing here. As he is building confidence, as he's beginning to believe in himself. There is a confidence that is growing, and as the forms are getting better and better and better, until finally at the very end there, where he has full confidence of what he was doing, that a master, as it were, has shown him the best ways. And right there at the end, that full explosion of confidence has awakened whenever that blessing is. That was what had caused that. You realize that if you can find a way to show him that that's what it is, that it's okay to enjoy that kind of stuff. There may be something there, but you're beginning to understand the root of this blessing, this touch of Bahamut, the platinum blessing, the platinum touch of the world.
I'm going to put this boy through some training.
Okay.
Including picking up that wooden sword, grabbing another one, and actually going through.
Roll me performance,
Practice.
adding your weapon, basically your weapon modifiers, because you're not trying to attack him, but you're demonstrating.
Right. That's going to be a 20.
I mean,
Dirty 20.
it's different attacking a stationary target than one who can fight back. You can tell at first he's a little bit hesitant. Not so much that he's going to hit you, but you're going to hit him. But it's that moment where you easily spot the opening, and as you reach up to smack him, like right before you hit, you stop and just kind of. You see him kind of, and he kind of smiles. You step back into your position.
And at that point, it's like we're reviewing blocking now.
Yeah. So roll me that roll again. 3 rolls of this. 17. On also rolling a 17, you actually are coming in again, blocking, and as you go to swing and even give a little feint to come up, he sees it and goes from his side, do a low block, catching. Now, yeah, you stop the swing when because you could easily pick through it. But you feel you've got a hang of it. One more time. Advantage on the roll for you as well.
And that's a 21.
A natural 20. As you're finishing, finally, because you've been working this for about an hour and a half, going on 2 hours. As that last, you're like one hand pat, 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 pat. You get a little bit confident, you go to hit, and suddenly you feel your sword flicked up, and then boop, right on the nose. And just kind of, and as you look down, that aura is back, gleaming silver scale over that chromatic black, and he's just smiling up at you. You see him kind of raise a.
You got me.
Fenriel, about 15, 20 minutes before this point is when you have walked in. Hearing the thwack, 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 thwack from the training room, the first thing that comes to your mind is crap. You don't know, but as you rush and open
Not
it,
to hit them.
you rush and you open it, and you see the thwacking is like Grim walking around, adjusting the position, and this young dragonborn going through the various forms. Roll me a. It's interesting. Roll me a perception check.
12.
12. You're not you know what this young dragonborn. There is an actual draconic martial style. You've seen it before in various times, but you don't know what it is exactly. But that's appears to be what he's mimicking, is this draconic sword style. But right there toward the very end, you just kind of lean up watching Grim. You're not realizing Finneril's there. As you go for that last, then finally whack, getting yourself smacked on the nose. You easily see that Finneril.
Call out and Draconic. Fantastic job.
At that moment, the Yarix kind of spins. That silver gleam fading not quite as fast. Just kind of, thank you. He just kind of, he's a good teacher.
That he is.
So you see him turn and look at you. You guy goes, I didn't make it any worse, did I? Okay.
It's okay. It's always looked like old.
No, they're currently speaking Draconic right now. So
yeah, he has no idea.
yeah,
It's all good.
It maybe a little bit of a trickle. Nothing compared to the things you've been through recently. You watch as he turns back to you, Grim, turning his little wooden sword upside down, giving kind of a bow to you before he just kind of chuckles and runs out of the training room.
Good kid. Learns fast. That bugger needs to be a fighter.
Who's that? Was he already in here or?
He was in here when I walked in here. Practicing on the mannequin. Not too bad. His stance was a bit off. He wasn't swinging at full go, but once we got working with him, I think he is meant to be a fighter. Something about this whole platinum blessed.
Oh yeah.
You notice he was like all nice and glowy and was getting pretty, confident and everything.
Mhm.
I think it has something to do with them kind of, they're like real selves coming out, like them really connected and doing what they are meant to do. I think it has something to do with that.
That makes sense. If fighting seems to, or training at the very least, seems to be what helps,
Seems what he
him,
wants.
should also help raise his confidence and could help all of them feel safer.
Well, for sure. When you look at him, he just wants to protect the younger ones, right?
That's what I've been saying.
Don't
That would be a good thing.
Don't.
It's just
Listen,
again,
I'm training.
Yeah, everyone, sorry about that. I can go back in later and see exactly where it cut off and try to make the adjustment. Apologies. Actually, looked like apparently my Siri activated and threw it back to my home screen, which ended the live. It was weird. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Down weird. So did you get everything you need to do out and about?
I do believe so. Thorndrin should be finished this evening. I've got a few jobs started for Finnigan.
Oh, cool.
The rest of my day, I don't really have anything planned. Suppose
Cool.
the hatchlings have played in the snow before?
Probably not. I don't know what the weather is like up in Staleyland.
Me either. Rakara hasn't said anything.
You and I?
I know there's snow up in Stolico, but we're kind of next door, so maybe there's snow. I don't know.
Northern parts of Carolina see snow abundantly. The southern parts occasionally will see snow. All right, so with that, as we kind of cut now back to Iron Haven, where our three spellcasters, rolling back a couple hours at this point. As you're moving out into the city, take you a little over, almost an hour to go from the area where where the tower is in the city proper. Where would you like to go?
I wanted to go to this frozen prophet.
Frozen prophet.
And on the way, I'm attuned from the bracers and attuned to politician's friend.
Okay. So, heading to the frozen prophet.
Just for that one thing. I don't know if anybody else wants to do any perusing, but that's.
I'm perused while we're there.
I need to buy and sell, so
You're always buying something.
yeah.
So, as you enter the frozen prophet, a male dwarf kind of standing there behind the counter. So he looks up and goes, "Oh, lads, welcome. What can I do for you today?"
It's been a few moons since we passed through here. I had to leave behind a pretty nice suit of armor y'all had. Would you, can I peruse my way back to where the.
You can, and on the roll I made a while ago, the armor is gone. Roll an 8.
Where's my heart?
However,
Can I describe it to him like ABC if there's anything similar?
A whole undertip and
however, there are other armors here. But the armor spell storing, and that was one we had several adventurers came in about maybe a month ago, heading up toward the Cloudfine Mountains. Picked up some different things like that. What kind of armor are you looking for, lad? Heavy armor, leather armor, what?
Medium to light. Medium.
To light. Okay. You see, as he kind of points to one, well, if you want light armor, we have hide armor over there. It's made out of badger hide, actually. In fact, while wearing that black and white armor, you can actually you actually dig as fast as a badger does. You have a burrowing speed of 20 feet, have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Just for kids.
That one, 500 gold pieces.
Just, we'll put it in the bucket.
All right, we'll put it in the bucket.
Just for fun. That sounds fun. But one or two more, just.
All right, so an actual good set of medium to heavy plate armor, or medium to heavy armor. Let's see what we have here. Points to one here. We have this set of plate armor right here. This armor is emblazoned with looks to be an eagle head. While wearing this armor, your voice can be clearly heard by all friendly creatures within 300 feet of you, if you so choose. Your voice doesn't carry in areas where sound is prevented, as though through use of the silence spell. Each friendly creature that can see you or hear you has advantage on saving throws against being frightened. You can use a bonus action to rally a friendly creature that can see or hear you. The target gains a +1 bonus to attack or damage rolls on its next turn. Once you have rallied a creature, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. This is plate armor.
That's just one creature?
One creature.
Okay.
Until from the opposite side of the city.
Sounds like a great piece of armor for a paladin.
Let's see. I do have some Grave Ward armor. It's a little bit more pricier. This armor bears the gold symbol of the goddess Pyra, the sun deity. The armor is immune to necrotic damage and rusting attacks, such as those of rust monsters. While wearing this armor, your max hit points cannot be reduced. Now, the armor's immune. You're not. That's you still take necrotic damage. While wearing this armor, your max hit points cannot be reduced. So the effects that would reduce your actual max total down cannot affect you. As an action, you can speak a command word to gain the effect of protection from the good and evil spell for 1 minute, no concentration required. When the spell is active, if you are reduced to 0 hit points, you drop to 1 instead. It cannot be used until the next dawn. This is medium armor. It is a little on the expensive side at 3,000 gold pieces.
And the plate was.
The plate armor, a little bit more common. It's just a good soldier's armor. It only run you about 1,200.
I might go with the plate.
The plate armor, okay.
And
The commander's
whatever
plate.
my compatriots might be looking at something.
I'm actually may adjust and say equal to your charisma modifier per day. We'll do that. Yeah, you can do it. So up to your charisma modifier. I'll make that notation when I make the card for it. So he looks to. Well, what about you, Final Lads? Forgive me. My name is Balin. I'm the owner and proprietor here. You notice that it's a dwarven male. The white in his beard, kind of that bluish white of snow. His eyes a deep piercing blue. Just kind of. What else? What are you two looking for? Armor, weapons, magical items. Place to find them.
I'm looking at ways to help protect myself without really going armor route.
So more wards and
Wards and
rings
stuff
type
like
stuff. Very well. I have several selections of rings over in the corner there. I'd like to give those a gander. What about you, sir? What items are you looking for?
How many robes?
I do. I've picked up. I have a contact out of Nurakesh, Marat. He occasionally will sell me some of the more magical items he's had in his stock for a while, and so occasionally robes are what gets in my way. Very hot down there. Robes kind of make you sweat and bundle up. There are going to be, as he points there, you see several like robes hanging through various areas.
Sure.
So we'll start with you, Montel. The first ring you come across. These rings are made of twisted loops of gold and onyx and are always found in pairs. There's 2 of them. The ring's magic works only while you and another humanoid the same size each wear 1 ring and are on the same plane of existence. While wearing your ring, you and the other humanoid can use an action to swap your appearances. This effect works like the change appearance spell of the Ultra Self spell, except you can change your appearance to look identical. Your clothing and equipment do not change, and the effect lasts until one of you uses the property again or until one of you removes the ring. It's called the Glamour Ring. The next one you see is called the Ring of the it's called Ring of the Stone. As a reaction, has 3 charges. Reaction, you may add your con save, your con modifier to your AC. 3 times a day, ring regains 1d4.
That could be good for Grim.
That's 600 gold pieces for that ring. I'll mark that down. Ring of the Stone. Next to it, you see a ring that looks like it's made of like old metal, and it's holding this bright red ruby. The little tag under it says Ring of Hoarded Life. Hoarded life, not hoarded life. The ring stores hit points sacrificed to it, holding them until the attuned wearer uses them. The ring can store up to 30 hit points at a time. When found, it contains, and I'll roll some dice, so how many see if it has any stored hit points in it. While wearing this ring, you can use your action to spend 1 or more hit dice up to your maximum. For each hit dice you spend this way, roll your die, add your con modifier. Your hit point maximum is reduced by that total, and the ring stores the total up to 30 hit points. This hit point maximum reduction can't be removed with greater restoration or some magic, and lasts as long as hit points remain in the ring. You can't store hit points in the ring if you don't have blood. When the hit points are stored in the ring, you can call upon the following effects to occur. You can use a bonus action to remove the stored hit points and regain that number. You can use the action to remove stored hit points while touching the ring to a creature. If you do so, the creature regains hit points equal to that number. When you're reduced to 0 and are not killed outright, you can use a reaction to empty the ring of stored hit points and regain all hit points equal to that amount. Hit dice spent on this ring's featured can't be used to regain hit points during a short rest, but you regain them normally during the long rest.
That's interesting. It does have me written all over it. How much is that one?
That one is 1,000 gold.
Okay.
That one?
Yeah.
I'll mark that down. You do see a ring, though, that is on the tag says, attention, only to be worn by cleric, druid, warlock, or wizard.
Okay.
The tag says that this is the ring of powerful summons. When you summon a creature with a conjuration spell while wearing this ring, the creature gains a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and 1d4 +4 temporary hit points.
How much is that one?
I'm sorry. The ring of life is only six. There's also only 600 gold pieces. This ring's 1,000. Ring of powerful summons.
Yeah, I'll look at trying to get all 3 of those.
So, ring of stone, ring of hoarded life, and then the ring of powerful summons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We'll kind of.
So that was 600,000 and.
I'm looking at 2,200.
Yeah. So he'd be 22. Rakara, yours is currently at 17, and now we cut to Finnigan. As you're looking through the various robes. All right. We don't get a lot of robes. Okay. Okay. So as you're looking through, let's see what's the first thing to catch your attention here. Some weird things in this book. Potions and scrolls, rings, rods, staves, and wands. Okay.
Would it be listed under armor?
It is under armor, yeah. There's one back here I was trying to get to.
Okay.
You see a apron, like a leather craftsman's apron kind of thing there. The notation of apron of the eager artisan. Created by dwarven artisans, this leather apron has narrow pockets, which hold one type of artisan's tools. If you're wearing the apron and you spend 10 minutes contemplating your next crafting project, the tools in the apron magically change to match those best suited to the task. Once you have changed the tools available, you cannot change them until the next dawn. Lots better crafting.
Very interesting.
That one aside.
I don't really have any crafty people.
Grim cooks. Breakfast. Isn't it breakfast?
I mean, on a
Mac and
technicality,
cheese.
on a technicality, you're right.
Technically, culinary skills are a craft.
Yeah, there are cooking utensils.
You do see a robe that looks like it's made from the hide of some sort of creature. It's like bright white, kind of grayish. And you look at the note, it says this is a robe of white ape hide. While wearing this robe, you get a +2 bonus to your AC. In addition, the robe has the following properties while you wear it. White ape speed, as a bonus action, you gain the climbing speed of 30 feet for 1 hour. Once used, you cannot be used again until the next dawn. White ape strength, as a bonus action, you can call the power of the white ape for 1 minute. You have advantage on strength and con ability checks and saving throws. You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with melee weapons. Again, once used, cannot be used until the next dawn. White ape's wasting. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can choose to imbue the weapon with disease. The target must succeed on a DC con saving throw 15, or become infected with arcane wasting disease. It takes 1d6 days for the wasting symptoms to manifest in an infected creature, which includes forgetfulness and minor delirium. And then a long rest, the affected creature must make a DC 15 con saving throw, where its intelligence and wisdom scores are each reduced by 1 die 3. If the creature dies if either score is reduced to 0. Otherwise, the reduction lasts until the creature finishes a long rest after the disease is cured. The creature recovers from the disease by making 2 successful saving throws. The lesser restoration spell cures the disease. The spellcaster succeeds on a DC 15 spellcasting check. Once used, a property of this property of the armor cannot be used until 7 days have passed.
Is Grim wear armor?
Where's the breastplate?
Is it magical?
It's a +1. It's a masterwork. It's not magical, but it's reinforced, so it's a +1.
That's right, because you had the ironwood put on it, didn't you?
I think so. I want to say yeah.
Yeah, you had ironwood applied to it.
There is another robe here. By the way, these aren't like clothes; these are like actual like robes.
Right.
This is called the Robes of Spite. Unholy glyphs engraved on this black magic robe burn with faint orange lights. While wearing this, you gain a +1 bonus to your AC. At the start of your turn, you can choose to allow the attacks against you to have advantage. If you do, the glyph sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius, and you can use your reaction when a creature hits you with an attack to force the attacker to take necrotic damage equal to twice your proficiency bonus.
No, I'm not interested in that. No, then I would take way more damage than I would be giving them.
Fair enough.
How much was the white ape hide?
The white ape hide. Let's see here. That one's going to be 5,000 gold pieces. It is a very rare robe set.
Yep. Okay. So, any other robes? If I were a blade singer, that would be cool.
There is another one here that's marked as the witch hunter's robes. This robe is typically etched or embroidered with protective glyphs and runes. While wearing this robe, you gain +1 to your AC and have advantage on saving throws against spells. Just spells, not magical effects and such as actual spells. If you fail a saving throw against a spell while using this robe, you can choose to succeed instead. If you do, this armor's magic ceases to function at all until your next long rest. Meaning the +1 bonus and everything. It becomes a set of useless robes.
How much is that?
This one is only 1,200 gold pieces for the robes.
I will purchase that.
Okay.
Or I will put that in the bucket.
In the shopping cart.
Yeah,
Shopping cart.
the effect you basically get like a luxury resistance is cool.
Yeah.
But then there's the fact that as soon as you use it, you're like, well,
But that succeeding that saving throw
could be life or death. Yeah. You kind of take, you point and takes off. Anything else?
I was going to go look at his gloves to see if he has anything specifically for either rogues or warlocks.
Gloves. Okay.
Mostly because I know I need to hide my tattoo as well.
Just wrap it up.
Yeah, but wearing gloves looks
That's
a
what
lot
she
less different. Like, if I'm wearing gloves, no one's gonna think about that.
Okay. That's weird. All right. Yeah. Called Greater Pact gloves. You get an additional damage dice with your Eldritch Blast.
How much?
This is a rare item, so this one's going to be 1,200 gold pieces.
Take it.
Cool.
Sold.
That's all it does. It just requires attunement. When you roll damage for Eldritch Blast, you roll additional damage dice.
That's so many damage dice. Wait, does he? Okay, question. Does he give me an extra beam?
No, basically you get an extra beam. Yeah, you roll.
Okay.
You roll for one additional damage.
We were.
No, you don't like get one damage dice per beam. You get one additional beam.
Me and you were on the same wavelength, and we're like,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It can read a little weird. Yeah, it's one additional beam.
okay, that's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still good, but it
4?
that other one
I think
was
4. That other one was.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
You just got 3 cents for it. Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Montel, I'm sorry, Nathanael, so we need to get used to that. As you're over there with the rings, there is one more that catches your eye. It's marked as Ring of the Water Dancer. This thin braided purple ring is fashioned from a single piece of coral. While wearing this ring, you can stand on and move across any liquid surface as if it were solid ground. In addition, while walking atop any liquid, your movement speed increases by 10 feet and you gain a +1 bonus to your AC. This also requires attunement.
Okay, so the gloves would require attunement. Because I think currently I'm not actually attuned to anything, period. Yeah, I'm not attuned to anything.
Must be nice.
So the gloves would require attunement.
Might be nice.
That would require attunement. What was it? The Ring of Life Storing required attunement.
Ring of Ported Life, yes.
Yeah. And then the other two rings I was looking at was like pretty much everyone else.
Correct, yeah.
How much?
The Ring of the Dancer is a rare item. That's going to be greater rare. It's going to be 2,000 gold pieces for that.
Like that's 5,600 total. I'm looking at currently.
So,
You said that's 2,000?
yes.
Yeah. I've done the math in my head. It's 600, 1,000, 1,200.
We got it. Just
So, at the moment you hit 5,000 gold, you see the dwarf, you see Balin kind of, I don't suppose you gents would have need for a specialty item, would you?
We always have.
Notice your friend looking at rings. I happen to have one in the back that I got in as a specialty order for someone here in Iron Haven some time ago. But apparently the damn fool went and died. Well, he was killed for proper reason, apparently. Some fool in Leiden.
You got our interest.
I'll be right back. You see as he goes in the back, you hear.
Just like halfway looks like
stand on my knee.
You see him come walking out with what looks to be, looks like a bundle of fur. As he sets it down against to unwrap it, you see it is a piece of black onyx carved to look like a bear's head, about this big. So he goes, this is a ring, an item that I got out of Sornakor. It's a little on the expensive side, but I think you'd see it's worth it. As he opens it, it looks to be a wooden ring set with a strip of fossilized honey. He goes, this is the Ring of Ursa. You care to know more about it?
Oh, my glasses are on, so.
Roll me a Arcana check with advantage.
this sounds like I should know it.
This sounds like a sweet deal.
Looks at it, goes flying. Oh God!
23.
23. While wearing the ring, this does require attunement. You have the following benefits. Your strength score increases by 2 to a maximum of 20. You have advantage on charisma persuasion checks made to interact with bear folk, because they do exist in my world. In addition, while attuned to the ring, your hair grows thicker and more abundantly. Your facial features grow more snout-like, and your teeth elongate. If you aren't a bear folk, you gain the following benefits while wearing the ring. You can now make a bite attack as an unarmed strike. When you hit with it, your bite deals piercing damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength modifier, instead of bludgeoning strike for normal arm strikes. You gain powerful build and count as one size larger when determining carrying capacity and the way you can push, drag, or lift.
It's like,
We have a
It's like,
fighter.
yeah, okay.
Was
We have
this
a
loaded
fighter
on
who
his
could
body
use
at
it.
some point?
Pro.
Well, no, what you had was the
I don't know,
axe.
it was an axe.
Axe is a similar thing.
Yeah.
This is basically that axe, but it does a little bit more. This came out of one of the northern territories of Stornakor.
I don't think Greg will use it.
How much for it?
Because you've already spent so much, or planning to spend so much gold, I'll let it go for 3,000 gold pieces.
He's already doing the math as the accountant.
Finnigan comes back like fucking corduroy the bear. Wow, there's a dated reference for you.
That's a dated reference right there. I remember there being a stop motion animation short of it. I remember there being an animated show of it that only lasted like 10 episodes.
So by my high school math, that comes out to 10,100 total for everybody.
Before trade.
I mean, if you're trading something,
I am.
Guys.
Tell you what, lads, coin in hand, I'll take 9,000 even for it.
What if I could get you something to sell as well? And
I do take trade. What do you have left?
both the viola and the blade.
Lad. These two items, 6,000 coin, it's yours.
The whole thing.
Whole thing.
5,500.
Come on.
Roll me persuasion with advantage.
Oh, him or me? You're doing it? All right.
Yeah. Dirty 20.
And not a copper less.
Not copper less.
So, all right.
Cool.
I have the list of things here. I will get these made for you.
So that's
Damn.
55 platinum, right?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So we have the badger hide armor.
I suppose.
I just pull out the coin.
Oh,
Okay,
go ahead.
So we have the badger hide, the better plate, ring of the stone, ring of hoarded life, ring of improved summon, the greater pact glove, ring of the water dancer, and ring of Ursa. Is that right?
Somebody we just don't ask for them.
Okay.
Is that correct?
That sounds like the whole list.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items.
Mm-hmm. Because I bought
So it's okay. So
Three-
we have the
3 rings, a pair of gloves.
Okay, so we have the badger hide,
Yeah,
the commander's plate, ring of the stone, ring of hoarded life,
Mm-hmm.
ring of the greater summons,
Mhm.
greater pact gloves,
Mhm.
ring of the water dancer,
Mhm.
and then ring of Ursa.
Mhm.
8 items. Is that it?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll make those item
That's
cards
a
for you.
lot of items. This is
Sandra wants to know if the white 8 robe came with a toucan, apparently. I don't get the reference.
We can't hear you.
We cannot
Oh,
hear
no,
you.
no,
Oh, the
off.
speaker's
Oh,
off.
speaker's off. Okay. Hang on, folks. Tell you what, it's 8 o'clock. We'll go ahead and take our break right now before technology, folks, is supposed to make our lives easier. We'll come back around 8:15. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm sorry TikTok cut out. YouTube is still up and running and has been the entire time. We're going to move over to watch us there. And then when I get these edited up on YouTube, that'll be cut out as well. So yeah, with that, we take our small break, more into the restroom. When we come back, we will be taking questions. I see my mechanical Raven is already in the chat. Raven, you're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Raven.
love
Common mate.
Thank you, Raven.
So over the past week, I thought about
Well, okay, here's my better question. Do you actually know that I changed what I am now?
Finnigan's glasses recognize
The difference?
the difference in magic.
Okay,
Because he established that when I met Halvor.
that's fair. Well, my question actually more becomes, would you know who I'm following, or would you just see I'm following someone of the Abyss? Because I'm doing just abyssal magic, which is a lot
Finnigan would, I would assume, because of the glasses, would recognize that your power source is coming from the abyss.
Mhm.
They probably would not specifically know.
Mhm.
Um,
But you've been around me long enough to probably have seen the mark. Now, whether or not Finnigan would know the mark,
Finnigan has a very poor passive perception.
yeah,
It's a 10.
Yep.
So
I'm doing that now.
unless you have specifically pointed it out to him, he
so
would not.
So it's
recognize
more along the lines
that.
of you just recognize that I've traded the natural power I seem to have. Okay.
Finnigan said, like in Finnigan's mind, you gave up on yourself
Mm-hmm.
because he recognizes that there are different methods of practicing magic.
Mhm.
And everyone has a different source for their power, but yours and Rakara's were similar in that they were manifestations of your will.
Yeah.
And because he feels like you gave up
We'll see.
on your own power and the power that you could have had,
So
and
here's
instead took the easy way out trying to gain more.
we'll see. Here's another question though.
Okay.
Would Finnigan have recognized that this happened after he, like, when he was surrounded by the 3 dead bodies?
Yes.
Finnegan,
Because-
he probably would not have noticed until he
Okay.
saw you using
Yeah.
your
Would
magic.
any of these creatures have
Okay.
not been seen by me?
So it's basically
no, those are all good.
if
So probably the fight later against the dragon is when he would have
I
noticed.
just got them
so
if we add
if
them here,
Montel
she
explained,
can
I
take
did
shit
that so
to
I
any of
could
them.
come
I
back.
have the stats.
Finnegan would be a little bit more lenient on that,
So to the person I
just
asked
a
earlier,
little bit.
Reaper is my sponsor, maker of fine, amazing outdoors tools like the Meritus X is there, the swords on the side. Check out Reaper.com. They have some amazing products, a lot of tools and blades, really good quality work.
They're so good quality that when they were putting them up, they did not allow me to touch them for fear I would cut off my own fingers.
Yeah. They're multifaceted, multi-useful survival gear. Is the general thing.
Okay.
I was like, oh no, did we
The
lose
swords.
him again?
The swords. I'm not sure. I think they just look cool.
I
mean,
they
machetes.
machetes, machetes, home defense.
They're Gladius style machete.
Yeah.
Briog's,
So-
this is a 5th edition D&D game.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we just always question what's going on with him and his characters. We never know.
It's all
In general, the worst option somehow always works for him. Is the general answer?
And that's one of the weirdest things about you, and that's what makes us even more just very.
Trying to scroll back to some of the questions we have.
Oh yeah,
And it's not that because you rolled a 19 insights. That's pretty high.
yeah.
And you would know that
Oh, you're
Finnegan
right.
doesn't have a problem
Rhinestoning a costume at 2
attack
a.m.
magic in
Yeesh.
general.
Mm-hmm. It's the
It's
fact
that-
that I gave up
Right.
my other magic.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is completely fair. And like right now Montel or Nathaniel's not really concerned with it currently because of the fact that he himself is still trying to figure out what this means to him.
Got a lot of people asking y'all. We are not the Hellfire Club, unfortunately. A similar thing. This is these fine. Did he just?
No, he's
Okay,
still here.
cool.
He's still fine.
All right, cool.
He's fine.
These fine fellows have signed up for a game here at the Hive in Macomb, Mississippi, and I have the extreme honor of being their dungeon master. Bluebird Absurd, hello, welcome.
I am a nocturnal.
But yeah, that's gonna be like that's gonna just make fun interactions here. Because actually we don't interact very much in
We don't.
general. Like it's just like, wait, hold on.
Part of me thinks this entire, part of me believes this entire time, Finnegan just thought Montel was the idiot, like just a fool.
Oh, he does. He has. But
But I'm a
He
fool
also
that seems to
recognized-
survive.
he also recognized that Montel had a certain amount of
Good spot.
willpower, and strength within himself. And it's the fact that he gave that up for what Finnigan sees as the easy way out.
Easy, I don't understand. Gotcha.
Which I
So-
also wonder if, this is also going to be interesting because I'm changing Montel's personality as we go
Fireblower, no, my friend, you are not alone in geekiness. You are amongst friends here.
Yes.
to the actual Nathanael.
among the Knights of Nerddom and the Guides of Geekness.
We are the knights who say nerd.
Damn it.
Nerd.
I ousted myself. You are no longer the Knights who say.
Yeah.
You are the Knights
But
who
yeah,
say.
I think because that's going to be an interesting interaction where Montel's trying to figure himself out and Finnegan's like, you took the easy way out.
Just got 5 wins, bro. Nice, Johnny Ray. Nice.
Yes. Way to go, Johnny.
Especially considering Montel actually wants to read up on some stuff in your library.
In the Lexicon, or
Both.
Okay.
Montel is actually wanting to start studying the different forms of magic there is. Because he was always so focused on performing magic, like the performance aspect of it, that he never considered any of the other parts.
Okay.
And also, it's, learn more rituals.
Nice. I gotta go grab another drink. I'm actually running another game on Mondays now for a different game store closer to where I live. So my week is full of D&D. I love it.
How hard is
As
it
it
to
should
make
be.
new ritual spells?
What do you mean?
So part of the reason I took Pact of the Tome is it's one of the easier packs I read online to get into, and this is my first time playing a warlock,
Okay.
which is why I took it. But it's also the fact that you get because I took improved, I get access to all the ritual spells.
Okay.
And it just crossed my mind that, well, for a ritual spell to have been created, there must be a way to create them.
Just like every spell, someone's got to create those.
Creating
Yeah.
magic in 5e is very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there a thing where you can cast a spell, but as a ritual?
Yeah, there are certain classes you can catch spell as a ritual. It just takes longer. So
Is that what you're asking, maybe?
No.
connection's very choppy on my end.
So
He wants to make his
Make its own ritual?
Yeah.
Okay.
because
All
I
right, Caleb.
because I can learn every other class's ritual spells. It's like, well, how hard is it to actually make a ritual? Which is part of the reason why mine tells.
Don't feel bad when you're rewatching this one. There's going to be a weird jump point because we'll have to go through an edit because apparently the feed cut out for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was such an interesting part of the
Yeah.
story. I didn't
Also,
want to-
somebody goes,
be like,
abyssal
hey.
magic is corrupting our friend.
But was I not corrupted already?
That's fair.
I'm just showing it
man.
now.
If I said the name Toogie, do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
No.
I got the reference when you first asked it, Sorndren.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle?
Oh,
George of the
you
Jungle.
did.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
the best book to get to learn and start for character builds is the Player's Handbook. It is the base book that I think if anybody is going to get a D&D, either get the PDF, get the actual physical book. This is the main important book you'll be using.
There's a set of free rules on the website.
The base rules are free
Base
through
rules,
yeah.
D&D Beyond.
I think when I told Moffat that I did not own the player's handbook, he was so surprised. I just kind of look up rulings on the fly, so.
I don't think I don't own that many physical books myself, so.
I own
only
every
have-
physical book except 2 adventures.
I only have the Player's Handbook, DM's Guide, and Monster Manual, and a few of the modules.
I'm trying now to pick up all the modules.
Mm.
I have most of them.
A friend of mine has been picking up pretty much every single D&D book he doesn't
Now
already own.
I need to get, Call the Netherdeep, the new one that's coming out, the
Strange of the Radiance.
The Radiance,
Fire,
yeah.
and the Spelljammer's on August.
The Journey to the Radiant
Not people
Citadel,
can't
that what it
wait.
is?
Yeah.
Comes out this week.
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Hey,
Oh,
the good
sorry.
news. Hey, I can now teleport out into the bay and not have to worry about going under.
I thought that's exactly why he.
That's exactly why I bought it.
I saw a little skit on YouTube. I'll take that pretty funny. There's a bunch of Roman soldiers working the pool, and a guy dressed as Jesus. Like, Jesus, jump in and do a cannonball. He's all right. Does a cannonball. Just like lands flat on his back in the water, going, "Oh God, oh Dad, why'd you make me do that? Ow!" Goes to stand up, she's trying to jump in the water.
I like that thing, the stunt with Steve-O jumping on trying to do a cannonball in the frozen over lake.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? He skids across.
God, ow. Feels like it hurts so damn bad.
The TikTok's a little fuzzy right now. In the process of buying a new camera. I'm going this week to Best Buy to see which ones they have. Finally know what I have to look for. So hopefully next Sunday we'll have a better quality camera to go over YouTube with.
Right now, I'm watching the chat and it seems to me.
I mean,
Because the camcorder I picked up, for some reason, it only, if it's plugged in, if it's charging, you can't record with it. But it only has enough battery power for like 2 hours.
I think GoPros are really good for stuff like
That's
that.
probably what we're
'Cause-
looking to do, just a GoPro.
Yeah, well, because strangely enough, GoPros are very durable, long-lasting battery because they're supposed to be able to go anywhere, and they have surprisingly high-quality image for such a small camera.
That's fair.
Also, I think a lot of YouTubers will use GoPros.
Yeah.
Because it's all that and it's small.
Yeah, going to Joe Cat on YouTube for a quick
Oh,
introduction.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Love Joe Cat series.
Or,
XP
Puffin
to
Forest.
That
XP
guy
Oh,
Maybe
God,
it's
Puffin
live
Forest,
shows.
yes.
Trap Guide to Paladin
Yeah, the Dungeon
specifically is
Dudes.
why I chose
Web
my latest
DM.
character.
There used to be one that he had, I think he became part of an actual like channel. It was called the Dungeon Bastard. And my favorite one he did was about half elves, because it literally started with half elves, half elf, half human, all abomination. And it was just this entire, then like at one point he gets like this little half up and goes, "I am Sucrose Bright Pony. I wish to wed yon fair maiden, your daughter." You're an elf. I can't have you wedding my daughter. I'm also a level 15 wizard, and I will cast fireball upon yon hovel. Well, here she is. Her dowry is on haystack. Ruff, ruff. It was the, yeah, I love Puffin's Ravenloft series.
Yes, his Ravenloft series is really good. But the entirety of Curse of Strahd and did a video diary on it.
How have I not watched that then? And Curse of Straw, start to finish 12 times.
Wow.
And I've never watched the Puffin Forest one.
It's really good.
I'll have to.
Totally recommend.
I joined the play-by-post Coach of Straw, and it stopped right as I started. I know, just.
Damn.
Oh,
So
no.
have y'all seen the, I think it was posted to the Discord, Curse of Strahd with the Friends intro?
Yes.
I am the one that posted that in our Discord.
That is, I love that song, yeah. I think Derek's the wrong guys.
Who is it?
And if you ain't got a warrant, turn around.
Yeah, Finnigan, you got a warrant?
You're learning.
No, it's Finnigan would go, who is it? Mine would go, if you ain't got a warrant, turn around.
No, Finnigan's upset if you ain't. Do you have a warrant when Gravix knocked on our door?
I've said it a couple of times.
Oh yeah. I just opened the door and looked at him like he was stupid. That's all. I really enjoy playing characters that will look at a cop directly in the face and go, "What you gonna do? Arrest me?"
There are worse things in D&D than being
That's
arrested.
right.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so being arrested is just, it's, okay.
What you gonna do?
This is a
Arrest me?
Tuesday for me.
What you mean Tuesday? I offered him a cup of coffee. I was being polite.
Look, you're a Joe Schmo guard, right? You gotta be like level 5. I'm level 15, fool.
I
See,
do miss my
You
guard.
say that, but that's why all of my guards are always like higher levels. Because they have to be, otherwise they're impotent guards.
Yes, they
Even the
just become
guards.
Skyrim guards at that point.
Even the guards at the graveside.
Yes.
Ha.
They reminded me of Biggs and Wedge. Final Fantasy.
Final
series.
Fantasy 7.
Well, they're in almost all of the Final Fantasies.
Oh,
I
yeah.
recognize them from 14, so I guess they would be in all of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sid. He's a recurring character.
All right, Montel, there's the first one in the stone.
Cool. Yeah.
No.
No. Because
it's
it's
yet.
Yes, but as soon as I get home, he will.
What is that?
That's
the
the
Ring of Stone.
Ring of Stone. I have a
Which
plus
means
one in
I'm going
con.
to get rid of one of my rings.
How many you got?
I got 2 rings. I got a telepath ring, and I got
Telepath ring does
this
not
ring of
require
authorize.
attunement.
Tell about the ring doesn't require to. Chris
I'm
does
bleeding out.
I believe you're all currently level 12?
12.
We are level 12.
Level 12.
Yes.
Bling.
Yeah, like that's if you notice, none of the rest of us are counting that in our count of attunement slots.
I don't even think I have it listed in my inventory.
I don't either.
I actually
I
have
don't
only 2 things I'm attuned to. I think.
I'm attuned to 3 things, which is why I didn't look around at health bars earlier.
Oh no, because as soon as I get these, I'm tuning to all of them.
Yep, I'm attuned to 2 things currently.
Although I could have looked for a quiver or something.
Also, I was wrong. This set of gloves gives me my 3rd one because I'm only level 9 warlock. Level 11 gets the 3rd being naturally.
Well, if you look on the thing, I'm only like level 7.
Cantrips
sorcerer.
go up on your base level.
Cantrips go up
On your total level.
So
not
Yeah.
your-
my
Oh!
fireball is
Total,
going
yeah, not
off.
base.
It's like 3d10, I think now or something.
I've been doing this
So-
wrong.
That's all right.
Just like your proficiency bonus goes up with your total level, not your class level.
Yeah, so that does give me a 4th being now.
Mm.
Perfect.
I wish the ASIs and feats went up with your base level and not your class level.
Yeah.
All right, so hoping
Instead of having
Mr. Seth will be here by now.
Like,
Maybe he's on his way.
Delays your ASIs.
Oh, yeah.
Any word in Discord from our dear Ranger?
We have
Our other ranger.
Oh, Ranger, not Ranger. I was speaking to
No.
a Ranger
Hmm.
this week
No word. So it's a possibility he might not be able to show.
Okay.
for the song.
All right. So, any final questions? You want to check on YouTube, see if anybody's asked anything there, or
No. It don't. No.
any final questions for us on TikTok before we jump back into the story?
What's the tickety talks?
I have a weird question about.
We're asking TikTok, fool.
I get that, but this is about a spellcat. This is about a spell that I found.
Lots of rings. Sounds like we're ready to do some backhanding.
Not Montel again, please.
Y'all see the TikTok where it's just like these 3 guys are fighting. There's one young guy like stuck a bunch of somebody, and so we get the guy follows him, licks the back of his hand, and just wham, and the guy just like knocked the fuck out.
No,
So, like, he makes a big word, like licks his hand, and then pow.
the best thing on TikTok is the tortilla fights. Because
Oh, yeah.
people put so much force behind them. Like, God.
Bluebird requested quick catch up. They jumped in at break.
We will. Okay.
Good.
So,
Okay, cute.
We went shopping.
We spend so much money.
Imaginary.
I don't know now. I've been spending money to
So-
get here too.
real quick, for those who have just jumped in, real quick line of introductions. We'll start now with Derek. Are you there, sir?
Yes.
Lead us off with introductions.
I'm Nick. I'm playing Sordrin, our Drow cleric.
I'm Michael. I'm playing Nathanael, a warlock rogue.
I'm Beck. I'm playing Finriel, the ranger druid.
I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Grim, the half-orc barbarian.
I'm Ben. I'm playing Rakara, the Emerald Dragonborn Divine Soul Sorcerer. Samurai fighter.
I am Ricky. I'm playing Finnigan Tenderfoot, the halfling wizard / rogue.
And I'm Morgan Freeman. I'd like to welcome you to the. I'm Kenneth Moffat, aka Southern D&D across the. I can smell you across the various social media. So, a quick recap of the game so far.
Did just get a thing from Seth. Says he won't be there. He's not feeling the best.
I'm sorry to hear that. To let him know, sorry, he won't make it. Hope his show was a great success.
Hope so.
Mr. Seth, if you're currently watching us, thank you so much for. We look forward to see you next week. It's okay, sir. I saw the bits and pieces that was posted about the show. It looked amazing. You deserve a rest, sir. He was portraying the lead in "You're a Good Man," Charlie Brown.
A good man?
I will take it. So,
Pardon me while I kick his ass.
all right.
Just organize it. Come on, man.
So, with that, a quick recap. After waking up to a fresh winter's day in Port Blayven, Finriel and Grim awakened to the sound of little feet pattering through the house and the occasional tap, 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 tap of the now repaired estate house. After an amazing breakfast, Finriel leaving to do some shopping, leaving Grim to watch over the small dragonborn children. Most of them staying in their rooms, except for Yorox, the oldest, the black dragonborn. Apparently, taking upon himself to go to the training room and trying his hand at combat with the large fighting mannequins. Grim, after watching for a while, stepped up again to help the boy kind of perfect and go through different things, surprising him very much. Finriel, after dropping off some items for a few custom magical gear, with Halifar returning back to the estate. Meanwhile, far to the north, in the city of Iron Haven, Montel, now known as Nathanael, Rakara, and Finnigan going to the Frozen Prophet, a magical item shop up there. A rather easy and painless shopping episode happening there for taking a few minutes. Currently, no real action going on, just a lot of downtime in game, a lot of just good role play and things happening. All the while, Sorndrin's still in the basement of the manor house, focusing on this ritual that he's trying to affect.
The real question is, has any of the kids just come down and is sitting with them?
I'm about to get to that. Sorndrin,
Yes.
what is your passive perception?
30.
Say that again. We're kind of cutting out.
What is your passive perception?
22.
22. Okay. So,
I remembered that because when y'all rolled the 21, it was right below.
Sorndrin, as you're sitting there in the basement, just so slowly breathing, feeling the ritual you're trying to enact beginning to take hold, you hear the sound of a piece of a piece of wood squeaking as though something has just stepped onto it. Kind of cracking one eye, you see frozen on the last step before the stone floor of the basement, the young white dragonborn. This is Gola, the young girl dragonborn. She's just kind of like frozen, staring at you, not noticing if you're not being able to see you've opened your eyes. You open your eye to look at her. She just kind of waits for a few seconds and like slowly eases another step down and keeps moving, trying to sneak up towards you. What do you do, sir?
I'm just going to stay still with that eye cracked and just kind of watch her.
Okay. Above, through the floor, you hear the padded sounds of like something hitting the training mannequins. She slowly approaches you, just kind of like watching you, and you see as she just kind of slowly lowers herself to the floor, mimicking your position, and just sitting there with her legs crossed, watching you.
I've met these kids and I know that they only drink. Bear with me a moment.
Okay.
The blood red bugs. She only speaks Draconic.
Correct.
So I'm just going to motion for her to sit wherever she wants and just keep going with what I'm doing. Because I know right now she's not really going to understand me and I'm not going to really understand her.
Gotcha. She just kind of sits, like you hear the slight shuffle as she kind of settles in, and just is sitting there, kind of just staring at you. Just gonna just kind of sit there in the quiet of the space.
I'm going to start, because with meditation there's breathing and everything, and I'm just going to start showing kind of how to start kind of getting that pattern in when you're meditating and working on something like that.
As you kind of begin to do that, you hear her breathing deeper, following you, and suddenly there is a sneeze, and you feel it's not intense. There's a sudden blast of like very cold air. It just kind of hits you for a moment. It doesn't break your concentration, but it does raise goosebumps all up and down your back.
It's already cold down here. That was unnecessary.
You kind of hear like a slight sniffle and a quick whispered word in Draconic. How do you react to it?
I'm going to see if I have something with a handkerchief and just kind of pass it to her, dude.
Yeah, you got like a small rag in one of your belt, like one of your pockets on your belt. You just reach out and hand it to her. There's a moment you feel a soft clawed hand take the little handkerchief, and then you hear and then you feel a cold, like frozen handkerchief being handed back to your hands.
Actually, I just thought about a thing, because I kind of discussed it with you. Did I ever get around to making the god figures to set on the altar behind me?
Like the different shrines and such?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you started. You've gotten a few of them kind of like carved and whittled out.
Would I have gotten Bahamut done?
As important that as he is to your party, I'll say yes. He is one that you went ahead and kind of the draconic head of Bahamut already whittled out.
And since I'm sitting in that doorway, I'm going to kind of reach back, grab that head, and just set it in front of her as kind of like a focus point for her.
Okay. As you set the head down, you hear like there's a sharp intake of air, and you feel you get a sense like she suddenly understands what's going on. There's more of a weighted, almost respectful silence, a pious silence that kind of falls over this area as the two of you just sit there, slowly breathing in and out. Make a roll for her. Okay. Sorndrin, as you're doing that, as you're she's mimicking your breathing deeper, a slight silver gleam, a light, suddenly starts to kind of make its way through, like against your eyelids. As you kind of crack that open again, you see that her normally chromatic white scales are also starting to get this sort of silver or platinum gleam starting to show through them. A dim light kind of spreading out from her.
Just gonna crack a little smile and just kind of keep going with the motions, slowly, like kind of adjusting so she can see exactly how I'm positioned, how I set my hands and everything else.
Gotcha. All right. The two of you just stay down there in the stillness and the silence. Your breathing starting to fall in tandem with each other. A slight warmth beginning to emulate from her through that light. It reaches out about 10 feet from her. But aside from that, nothing else really happens as the two of you just sit there over the next few hours. Through the course of Grim walking through the different stages with Urox, Finriel returning. The final, little bap to the nose. So yeah, at this point, it's pushing into the noon of the day, maybe a little after. Perfect time for lunch, Grim, as you again head back to the kitchen to.
Let's do this.
Well, what are you making for lunch, good sir?
Complicated
sandwiches. You complicated what?
It's going to be the traditional lunch for, I will say, like a work day. It's going to be pretty simple sandwiches.
Okay.
So, yeah. Where'd you go? So it's 23.
You
Simple
sir,
sandwiches that are the shit.
you grew up.
Fire household.
You grew up in an orc clan. There was no daily sliced,
Thick sliced ham.
You went and pulled the leg of ham down, put it down.
It's a ham steak sandwich.
And you start basically you take your knife, start cutting off the thick pieces of ham, laying it out, some fresh cheese across the top, fresh tomatoes, but lettuce, the bread a little bit toasted. You cut across. Again, the very thinly fried potato crisps to go with it. As you set
on the sandwich. The sandwich and that.
That much of it's meat.
You got a Scooby-Doo sandwich going on there.
It's a Scooby-Doo style sandwich.
Setting out, 4 plates, or actually 6 plates. Then you set another one wrapped up for Stormdrin. You see, you watch a Severin looking through the door as you set the plates. He quickly moves up the stairs. A few moments later, you hear the sound of children laughing as he's kind of herding the 2 red dragonborns down the stairs. Yarok stepping out of the training room, you kind of breathing heavily, still going through different forms. But Gola, the young white dragonborn, you don't see her anywhere.
I'll ask in Draconic, where is Gola?
You see that the 2 red dragonborns and something goes. She said she wanted to go to the basement.
I will go check. Thank you.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
So
Not hurriedly to
Yes.
not, scare the children, but I'm gonna
so
go check.
Finriel, as you kind of stroll out of the door, smiling as you get out of the line of sight, kind of pick
Wait. Sandwich.
Thank you.
moving down the stairs into the basement, you see, as you open the door, you see there's a pale silver light seeming to emulate down in the basement. As you descend the stairs,
Swordred sacrifice.
as you descend, you see Sorndrin sitting there in the lotus style position, a wooden carved dragon head, the symbol of Bahamut, sitting between him and Gola, as she is also just kind of her eyes closed, slowly breathing, her scales shimmering with this platinum light. And there's actually almost a warmth in the space right now. What do you do?
I'm still further up.
Yeah, you kind of duck down, and like as the stair comes down the back to the bottom of the.
I will try
You probably know about
to stealth up
Okay.
to try not to. Is her eyes closed?
Her eyes are closed, yes.
I'll try to let Sorndrin know that I'm coming, but try to keep my presence away from her to not distract her.
Okay. Sorndrin, you easily can pick up the sound of movement. You open your eye and you see Finriel, someone make you roll, slowly moving down the staircase.
Do you want her to go back upstairs, or do you want her to stay here with you?
through the ring, so we're not like making noise.
Yeah.
We're just gonna. She's fine. Just if you want to bring hers down here, or if she wants to go back up, that's fine with me too. But she seems centered, and that's something these kids need right now.
That's 2 of 4 so far. I'll bring her something.
Finnegan, you also see kind of discarded. Looks to be a piece of cloth that is like frozen.
It's like
Essentially, like it's kind of
flared out at one end, very thin on one.
It's frozen like that.
Not going to touch it.
Okay. So you.
I'll step back into the kitchen
Yep.
and grab another thing of food and another
Did
drink.
you find her?
Yes, she's downstairs with Sondrin.
probably
Meditating. They seem to be good. She seems very centered. Go ahead and grab something for her too, just in case, and give her the option to come up if she wants. But if she wants to stay down there, he said it would be all right.
Works for me.
So I'll get another. I'll go ahead and put it
Yep.
to carry down there.
You ease back down, set the 2 sandwiches on the floor beside them. Sondrin, you easily sense him, but Gola appears to just be completely centered. Her normally the vibrant white chromatic scales have now taken on a full platinum tint to it, almost like a beige type color in a way.
Rather than
So-
speaking,
Go ahead.
rather
ahead,
than
what you got?
speaking, I would ask you over the ring. I am not one for meditation. Should she just be left alone and you give her the option to come up or eat here later?
She's been down here a little while. You brought the stuff. I'll see if she wants to eat down here with me, or if she wants to go back up with everyone else.
Do you need translation services?
Now, I'm just gonna kind of look at Gola and just. I think we've got something figured out. You're fine. If I need you, I'll let you know.
All right, and I'll just gently set that down and make my way quietly back upstairs.
So we'll
So-
So go ahead.
After she sets both the plates down, I'm gonna take out one of the small daggers I keep and just kind of triangle cut the sandwiches and just
Yeah.
kind of nudge Gold
Uh,
and slide the plate.
as you kind of slide the plate, you sense her. She stirs for a moment, and that light and that gleam of her scales kind of fades, and she opens one eye, and she like sees the plate sitting there. She kind of looks to you, like kind of waiting for a cue from you in a sense.
But I'm gonna start eating because, like I said, all I have to do is keep concentration. But it's still gonna be kind of a solemn,
Yeah.
Unless she chooses to speak, and if she does, we can test how far this thing's gotten.
Fair enough. You watch clearly as she's mimicking you. Like when you go to take a bite, she takes a bite. She chews for exactly how long you chew, and just basically you have a shadow.
You have a little white shadow.
So as we will pause at this point for the moment, jumping back now to Iron Haven, as Nathanael, as Rakara, and Finnigan step out of the Frozen Prophet. Your bag's heavier, but your coin pouch is a lot lighter than, well, Nathaniel's especially a lot lighter than when you first stepped in.
Is it really?
I mean, my coin purse is in my bag of holding, so no, not really.
So, it's metaphorical. Where would you like to go now?
To the library.
All right.
Do some unsavory business.
Okay. Turning once again to the Lexicon Sophis, the door is standing open. You see, make sure I get her name correct. I want to say
I
Taika.
don't think I'm.
Starts with a P, yeah, sounds right.
It definitely did start with a P.
That is going to be Pekka.
Pekka.
Lady Pekka, the underling, the second in command of Lady Astrid Uleva. As you approach back, he goes, "Oh, Finnigan, you're back. Oh, hello, Rakara. Montel, right?
Nathanael.
No, I'm sorry, Nathanael. What can I do for
Can we speak privately, maybe down?
Oh,
Stairs?
Okay, yes. And she just kind of moved, kind of motions toward the back. Is everything okay?
I need to see the book.
Which one?
The
The Inferno. Very well. She did leave me the key to the inner vault. I can easily let you do that thing. And are your colleagues going to be joining you as well? Or?
I will, yes. I don't know about.
I look to Finnigan to see if Finnigan wants me there or not. You brought me along for a reason.
That is true.
Because you did specifically say you wanted me to come.
I'll allow it this time.
Okay. She was very well. If you will follow me, and she takes you to one of the rudimentary, like birdcage style lift.
So, who has spells that increase or give advantage on saving throws?
If there's any ritual spells that do, I can do one of those, but I don't have a list of ritual spells up currently.
I can do guidance and enhanced ability.
If you want me to take a second to look up.
Does enhanced ability do?
Guidance lasts for a minute, right?
Less lasts for,
How long does guidance last?
guidance just lasts more often.
Ritual spells study.
Well, you cast it and it's good on the next roll for so long.
Up to a minute, yes.
Okay.
But, enhanced ability, I think is an hour.
Does that do saving throws or just skill checks?
Target has advantage on wisdom checks.
Okay.
I don't know anything about wisdom saves.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything.
Fox
on that.
Cunning might come in handy though.
Oh wait, actually, hold on.
Finnigan is going to. Go ahead.
But I remember anything about dealing with Klobik and all the mess I had to do and pass it on to Finnigan to help prepare him.
You can remember that basically you sort of held a question in your mind, and then you gazed into the Inferno, and that's what sort of led to the answer being proffered to you.
And as we're walking down there, don't we pass the draconic sealed thing?
Okay, so as the birdcage lift slowly lowers itself to the vault, the large door in front of you in the inner vault, you watch as Pekka steps up, draws a familiar key to you, Finnigan, inserts into the lock. You hear several large tumblers disengaging. Before she pushes the door in, this large, long hallway with various other doors on either side of it. As you begin to make your way down through the doors, Nathanael, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 6.
6.
Actually, you know what? I'll use the one inspiration I have.
Okay.
That's a 7.
As you move past a door that is bound and warded with intense magical runes and glyphs, there is kind of a slot to which you can look into view. And you feel yourself stopping mid-stride. Something else seems to have control of your body. As you turn and you look into that slot, and you see suspended between two large stone like columns, this faint blue aura of magic suspending is a scroll. The scroll is probably about 6 foot in length, probably another foot in circumference, diameter. But the material it's made from doesn't look to be paper. It looks to be ever burning, like the pages of ever burning. This thick black substance with like red embers slowly dissipating as ash falls off of it. And you hear in the back of your head. Actually, what was your wisdom save?
7.
Both of you roll me perception checks. You hear. What you got?
I have a 22.
Nathanael, familiar voice in the back of your head. You hear. There it is. I was wondering what had happened to it. It makes sense the dwarves would put it here. Finnigan, you watch as a strange smirk comes across Montel's face. His eyes seem to darken for a moment, and you watch as his hand like kind of twitches as though it's going to reach out. But as you watch, suddenly it's like Nathanael just sighs, and you feel that presence leave your head as you return to yourself.
Back away from the door and immediately tell Finnigan over the mind link that someone else is interested in that scroll.
Resistance does things. Resistance. Plus the thing by default.
Finnigan.
Did Rakara see anything?
What was your total roll?
22.
22 natural.
You saw him stop and stare through that door, whatever was in here, but you didn't get the full sense of the gravitas the magical sense that Finnigan had. So you just saw Montel kind of staring at this through this, and like you see again, you saw his hand kind of flex over to reach out and just kind of shakes and like it just exhales and back to his normal
Kind of
self.
like peek over and like, do I see what's through the door? Or
You see a single page, a piece of paper, just kind of floating between these two large columns, which is going to be a single blank piece of parchment.
Do I know what this is?
Only a history check with advantage.
That's 3 is going to be plus 8, so 17.
You know its name, but aside from that, not much. Lady Yeleva referred to it as the charred page. On 17, it had something to do with the usurper gods, but she never really read into the details. One of the more hushed up items that the Lexicon had in its collection.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on Nathanael.
Okay. Is there a save to it, or is it only if you push in deeper, right?
Yes, only
Well,
if
I do tell you over the mind link someone else is interested in this page. Like, I shared that with you specifically. As someone who works here, kind of deal.
you?
No.
Yes, he was interested.
The person providing me power now?
And what's their name?
Athenox.
When you speak the name,
I don't speak it.
you don't speak it.
It's over the mind link.
Even thinking it, you see, all of you see through that little slit in that door. You see the bindings on this scroll twitch as though they're trying to unlock. The two of you see the page has been like locked in place. Starts sort of like it turns a little bit, like somebody's trying to turn a page of a book. Very minuscule, but there's a noticeable kind of shift.
Seeing that, can I try to lock down my consciousness?
Give me a wisdom check.
14.
You feel your mental barriers kind of push up, and there is a constant connection between you and your patron, even if it's never engaged. But at that, you do feel like you put some distance between the two of you.
Really need to talk after this. I think you need to go back upstairs.
I do too.
Because I can take him back. Is that
Please.
okay?
Just take me back up.
Very well. As you go to leave, you roll 14, right? Okay. As you go, your barriers stand, but you hear a very silent whisper as it says, "Still afraid of power, my friend."
I don't give a response.
That's it. All right, so Lady Peg is going to lead Nathanael back up to the vault, leaving Finnigan and Rakara in here. Rakara, you pass by a familiar door. Roll me a wisdom check.
I'm getting tired of this shit already.
I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Okay.
Check, that's 8.
As you walk past that door, you hear a "Welcome back, little gem dragon." That's all you hear.
Is just a door? There's nothing around it? Or?
This one is there's nothing looking through, just a solid door. It is chained, roomed, and bound.
I'll reach out and just like touch a claw to it and just think. You thought you could carry the hook till things and then pull back.
As soon as your finger goes to touch it, roll me a wisdom saving throw. That's the best. That's the
That's
best thing
what
to
you
do.
get when you poop the bad book.
No, then again, you know what's about to happen. As you turn, Rakara, what are you
gonna move?
Yeah, that's one of that little no, don't.
Hey, I'll do it.
No, wait, please don't.
Yep,
I have the modifier, right?
you do.
16.
16. Okay, so you only take half damage.
You got to give Martel credit. He was like, "Yes, I need to go."
5, 6, 7.
No, wait, please don't.
It's going to be a total of 17 points of force damage as you were blown back from this door. As you hit one of the wards that the library protects these things with.
Ow.
Like Montel, like you're that's why Montel's hand didn't actually reach out. It twitched. But yeah. Finnigan, you knew what to expect. Like as soon as you saw him touch it, the air rippled. And
I've touched these doors before.
Only once though.
Once each.
17 points
Twice on a day.
force damage slams into you, Rakara. You are staggered back, but you're not knocked unconscious, knocked prone. You easily can stand up, feeling weak.
Did I feel like anything heard my message or just nothing?
You're pretty sure as you go to stand up, you hear a.
What?
That was me. How did Montel or Nathanael or whoever the hell he is have more restraint than you?
Let's continue.
Do you need to go back upstairs?
No, you need me to stay down here.
Okay.
No more
Moving,
doors.
Just one more.
moving deeper in, you come to the final, the last door. This one also engaged that same similar bindings and runes that the other book that Rakara tried to touch still has. But Finnigan, you know the different ways to not remove, but to allow access through these.
All right.
You punch in the number. 8, 6, 7, 5.
Finnigan is going, before we go in.
Okay.
Is going to cast a series of spells.
Okay.
First, I'm going to take 10 minutes and 6 seconds to cast Comprehend Languages as a ritual spell.
Okay.
In the room or outside the room?
Outside of you, before we go in.
The book doesn't do that.
And then he's going to cast Mage Armor.
Because you're there, though.
And then, make sure, phone case got wet earlier. Got moisture from earlier. Yeah.
Burn every single spell slot.
This might be even that night.
Look, that's not hard for me, okay? I cast 2 spells, all of them gone.
Welcome to
And
the
then you get it
warlock.
back 30 minutes later.
No, it's like 2 hours later.
All right, and I'm going to cast
Short rest is like.
Short rest is 1 to 3 hours.
Protection from Evil and Good.
Okay. Rakara, you watch as, for the first time, really, you see Finnigan start firing off these spells in rapid succession, and you get a true sense of the power contained within the small halfling frame. Like he jokes and picks and loves it, and you kind of get a sense that Fireball is kind of his, his go-to. But there is a lot of thought, a lot of power that this wizard has amassed over the years, and you kind of, as he's now just standing there shimmering with various protections and things around him.
Those are all first level spells.
Yeah, but it's so many.
Yep. And then I'm going to take care of the wards.
You, much like Grip Hook in the Harry Potter series, you know just kind of the motions to make as you reach up. The wards, recognizing your magical touch, you sense almost like just a small hole being opened to allow passage in through the door into the.
And I will walk in slowly.
The door slowly opens in. You step into a darkened room, except for a single podium in the center, lit by a magical light beaming down upon it. And there on the podium is a folded piece of paper. No book.
Oh, no.
Ricky fucking knew it. Finnigan didn't know. Ricky fucking knew it. I'm going to put the glasses on.
Okay. There is a magical aura that has been cast on this letter to mimic the same sort of fingerprint the book would give. That's why you reckon this is Lady 11. This is her level of magic. That's why no alarms have gone off. Nothing is happening. She has put this here, and it's powerful magic. She has mimicked an illusion so great it's almost real.
I will reach up and grab the sheet of paper.
Take the sheet of paper, the illusion still maintaining, and you see it is also addressed not to Finnigan, but to Tenderfoot.
I'll open it and read.
My student, I could not say what I wanted to. They were watching me. I go not of my own free will, but as one who was bound to a promise made many years ago. They do, I believe they do know the secret of the oracular, but I believe they also intend to use it in its most foul of means. Unfortunately, I had to break my greatest rule. I had to let a book fall into hands I knew would do it harm. But for those I care about, for those who I believe I must protect, I would break every rule I have. And again, if you find this, we are heading to Blood Tusk Isle. You're my only hope, my friend. You'll live.
Did you walk in the room with me?
Yeah, I walked in the room with you. Could I be reading over your shoulder? We usually like that? Or it's just kind of a.
He's an athlete. It's not that hard. It's not. You just have to stand behind him a little bit.
Rakara would be
Crouch
very
down.
curious as to why there's not the book there and the, because he remembered.
You remember the,
Yeah.
that's to your eye, it is there.
This is to his eyes with the glasses.
Until he picked up the
Now,
letter.
even when he removed the letter, you to all you see, to you look like he reached up to grab the book and pulled a piece of paper out of it. You just see the book sitting there on the dais.
Letter.
Well, let's go.
I didn't have, okay, that's good.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up and start running upstairs.
Uh,
Closing the door.
yeah.
Putting
Resetting the
boards
boards,
back
yeah.
up.
Don't we need the room
Locking him in the room.
Wait, Finnigan!
Finnigan waits for no one.
A wizard never waits for the dragons.
Okay. So,
I'll use a gift of Bahamut and cast your ones on myself.
okay, as you're in the hallway, you heal it back up. So, Finnigan and Rakara. Well, Rakara quickly moving after Finnigan, who is moving at a speed you rarely receive from this halfling, rushing to where the little like birdcage elevator comes down, giving you just enough time to catch up with him as he steps on, you stepping on after him. This look of actually that's a fair question. What is going through Finnegan's mind right now? What is his thought process? What's happening in his mind?
Oh, fucking no.
This
In so many different ways. His mom is missing with dangerous people. He could be the reason. Did they go after her specifically because of him? Or was it coincidence? This super fucking powerful book is gone and in the wrong hands. Has she been taken control of? Is her mind on her own? Yeah, all that shit.
On y'all's way up, do either one of y'all warn me that we're leaving quickly?
I'll say let's go and not stop.
Okay.
until the entire time, because like as soon as you peck it, she kind of left you alone. What have you been doing? Say the almost like 30 minutes where they've still been kind of down there moving through.
I've just found a random book to read. I don't care the language.
Roll your luck roll.
It's the Kama
14.
14.
It's the Kama.
You find a book that speaks about the time before the Exodus, which is where the gods left the world. It was a time right around, right after the Great War, the cataclysm that destroyed the primordial titans, banished them into the elemental and dispersed the elemental planes. You were reading how that the gods themselves were having to almost relearn their creations. Because during the times of the usurpers, the usurper gods had stepped in and garnered all the devotion, which was weakening the prime deities. But even with all that devotion, these new usurpers could not stand against the Titans. That the gods had to have a way to bring that back, or the world that they worked so hard to create would be destroyed. You had just gotten to a part where it was talking about the binding, when you see Finnigan and Rakara come rushing out, Finnigan just moving, we're leaving now.
Considering the front desk is going to be by the front door, I'm going to bring the book with me to the front desk and just place it on their desk and keep going.
Okay, you just set the book down.
Yeah.
All right. Three of you leaving the Lexicon Sophies. Where are you heading?
I would have went to the teleportation circle. And
Okay.
I think we're missing
Yeah, he just dropped out.
Sorensen.
Okay.
It might just be a second and then open it back.
Okay. Make sure that stays.
Yeah, that's off.
That's awesome. All right, lovely.
He's back.
He's back.
So I wonder if you can hear me say something.
Okay. Well, he can hear us. We can't hear you quite yet. Soundbar went back off.
Yeah. Apologies, folks. Trying to technology. It's supposed to make things better.
And depending on which science fiction book you read, it does or really, 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 really doesn't.
That's fair.
Really, really.
So-
Or both at the same time.
Or both at the same
The three of
time.
you heading to the teleportation circle. We cut back now to Port Blayven, where the past few hours have been relatively peaceful. Graham's been back in with Yorox, giving him some basic maneuvers to go over again after lunch. Gola sitting in with Sorndren again, just sort of breathing and occasionally stirring, but all in all, just being very patient and almost as if she wants to learn, as if there's a sense of something that she's understanding she's learning from down here. You good?
Yeah. Didn't say anything.
Can you
There we
hear
go.
me?
Okay, we're back. Okay.
Okay.
Sorndren's back. So, Sorndren, Gola sitting down there with you, just kind of watching, and again, after a while, that light slowly building back up. You get a sense of peace that she is slowly beginning to, if not understand, but beginning at least to reach here with you. So while all this is going on, Finrio, what are you doing?
Is this when we would have finished eating or?
This you finished lunch. You've got basically a couple of hours have passed, just kind of relax. What have you been doing in this time period?
Figure out what the red twins, if they were wanting to do something, if they were wanting to go outside. Since the other two have sort of separated off from them.
As you open the door to their room, the two red twins, you open it. You see that their window to the outside is open. The two of them is kind of standing there watching several snowflakes. Occasionally, as one kind of like drifts close, they'll blow at the heat of their breath and just kind of laughing. You do watch as the I'll get their names here. The young boy, Rick, like reaches and grabs some like fresh snow, and kind of throws a plate with his sister, Raya. The two of them kind of laughing back and forth. Hearing the door open, they kind of just like stop and turn and stare, seeing you there. What?
I'm about to go outside and do some training runs with Seb. Do you want to go outside and play?
They look out and you see that they see this wide white wonderland from them. They go, yeah.
Come on.
So they go to, you watch as they kind of rush to the front door, opening it and stepping out. While they are red dragonborn, it is pretty cold out. So you see them kind of shivering. They rush back in, grab different coats and things that Haggerty has gotten for them. Before, as Seb kind of like realizing what's going on, bursts through the door with them. They go running out after playing with him. As you step out onto the large kind of veranda style porch, roll me a perception check.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20. Just kind of sitting there watching, something catches your eye. And you look up to see, again, perched in the highest limb of that tree, watching not you, but their eye on these two young red dragonborns being chased and chasing your great companion, a golden feathered canary, just slowly seeming to kind of just like stand there, just watching them.
That's 2 times in very recent history that I've seen one of these.
Again, the children were present when that happened as well.
And has this happened
Not
previously
since,
or not since then?
Not since then.
So Finn will probably just make his way close by the tree and just sit under it and watch them.
Okay. As you just ease toward where the tree is, see one of the larger roots, you look up. If the bird notices you, if the canary notices you, it doesn't register. But as you're sitting there, you're getting, it's almost there's like an aura of contentment seems to just encapsulate around you. Like some entity is watching seeing these young dragonborn playing brings some happiness to them, to a level, to an extinct, to an point that it seems to emanate out as an actual palpable like feeling. After a few moments of them playing in the snow, occasionally, like you watch as they throw a snowball at Seb, something like really goes on his highlights, tends to like take the hit and fall into another snowdrift. You only one more perception check.
23.
A breeze kind of passes over you. And even in the coldness of this air, the chill that comes, not one of natural cause. But when that breeze kind of ruffles the tree, you see the canary kind of poke its head up and look skyward and then takes to the wing and is gone in a matter of seconds. And as soon as that bird leaves, that sense of contentment slowly dissipates.
Finn will make a mental note of it, but he'll just stay sitting right here and continue watching.
As time and as these children begin to enjoy them, and even once outside, you watch as they're running and playing again. What bit of their scales can be seen? You see a slight platinum or silver texture slowly start to emanate from them. Over the next few hours, these children are just playing, enjoying life, finding peace, finding meaning, just finding fun, something you can tell they have never had before. The next few hours move quickly by as we now cut back to the area where a teleportation circle activates and Finnigan, Rakara, and Nathanael quickly step off the platform. What are the three of you doing?
Following. Headed to the estate, I suppose. Any place you need to go?
How far away is the estate from the?
The light, it's on the other side of the city, so maybe 2 or 3 hour walk at most.
No, we are taking the Crimson Floof.
On the Crimson Floof, it cut it down to about 30 minutes, an hour on the outside.
Would it be able to hold all 3 of us?
It should, yeah. I mean, small creature, it should be rollable.
Okay.
This large red panda, red furred creature, poof, appearing while it stands looking very, very cuddly and very fluffy, a very grim, determined Finnigan climbing onto it, giving you a look of either you get on now or I'm leaving you.
Montel's following his lead.
All right, Montel climbing.
Jump up behind you.
So Rakara is on the end. Cool. And with that, the
There's handles.
the red panda takes off at high speed again, like just a line of dust behind it, moving through. One point, Rakara for a short turn, like you basically hold on to the tail now, just moving through the various alleys.
Much like Dawson and Dave Mouse.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
So within
It's on the list, I think.
within 30 minutes to an hour, the Crimson flew skittering to a halt in the large yard of your estate. You still see Finrio sitting there watching Severin, the red dragonborn twins, kind of play in the snow. Finn, you see the Crimson Floof kind of skittering in as Finnigan, the other two companions, get disembarked from it, disappearing as he unsummons it. A strange look on Finnigan's face. Where are you heading?
Need to get everybody together right now.
Montel will send just a ping over the mine and over the ring.
This point, we're reaching the 3-4 o'clock moment toward the latter part of the evening. So, Sorndrin, maybe another hour or so before your ritual completes. As Severin, seeing that everybody's going, begins to kind of herd the children back in and call draconic cries of "Oh no, where's that kind of stuff?" But if you,
They've been good.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give you an update in a little bit.
the brand new door being flung open by the unexpected force of this halfling entering very dramatically.
Aragorning into the room. Slow-mo.
Grim, as you and Yarrox
Calls for aid.
you and Yarrox, after finishing training, just kind of sitting there with you with a tankard of ale, him with a tankard of like apple juice or something, just kind of sitting, looking at each other, just kind of nodding back and forth, not understanding each other, but understanding the intent and the meaning of it.
Sometimes you don't need to understand a language, you just need to understand a person.
Exactly.
Eventually, Yorox bloodied Grim's nose earlier. Very nice.
You're heading down into where Sorndrin is? Okay.
Yep. Everybody downstairs.
Quick words to the dragon, the children as they head back up their rooms, as the remaining 5 of you move down into the basement, where with a quick kind of nod, Agola just kind of also scampers up and leaves, taking the 2 plates where the food came earlier.
Sam is with them.
So now the 6 of you stand in the basement. Well, Sorndrin's kneeling, but the rest of you are in the basement.
Right, so you guys have been gone all day. What'd you find?
Bad stuff.
Of course, bad stuff. Be a bit more specific.
The head librarian of the Lexicon is in the custody of it was the Faeterra. They need her to remove some sort of enchantment on something. That's her specialty, is enchantments. They are taking her to Blood Tusk.
Well, Broken Tusk.
Broken Tusk.
Originally, she called her by the old name, Blood
Okay.
Tusk. Which roll insight.
Rakara had an idea. Can I?
What you got?
Enchantments, removing enchantments, mages. That's what they were doing, wanting to do up in Kralot. Removing enchantments from.
Correct.
So, would there be any
Overlap.
with blood?
Zytherin came to Yellowthere looking at that whole. You get a sense that these dragonborn children, there is an overlap here. Something like there is a reason for his visit to Kralot. There is a reason these 4 children were brought here, And remember, they were supposed to be taken to that city, Faeterra, in the north.
I'm thinking more of the correlation between them looking for mages to unseal something in Croat, and then his person unsealing something somewhere. That's where his mind is going.
It's not uncommon for certain like studious people, certain archaeologists to go, hey, we've come across an ancient ruins that has an old enchantment to it. We're looking for someone who knows these to come. But the level of enchantment that the ones that what they came to for Yeleva seem to be more than just the normal ones, so to speak.
21 on inside.
21. Even though she is fond and a lover of history, you've never known her to. She wouldn't call something by its old name.
Mhm.
There is a reason she still called it the Blood Tusk Isle, as opposed to Broken Tusk.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Does Grim know anything about Broken Tusk, Blood Tusk? Isn't that his part of his home?
Joshi?
Roll me a history check, right?
History. Where are you? There. Yay!
-1.
I'm going to actually burn one of my inspirations.
Okay.
Here you go. That's a 19, which becomes an 18.
Okay, on 18. You remember that before the fall of what we call the Dark Empires, the one where the Dark Lord of Ekna ruled Stornakor, that Blood Tusk Isle was a proving grounds for weapons and for ships. It was said that something existed beneath it that Vecna would go and commune with on a regular basis. And when the rebellions began at the end of the Fallen Age, he fled from his tower fortress there. And all you know is he sought to unlock the power that lay beneath it. And in doing so, he broke the island. You rolled a total of an 18, right?
Yep.
On an 18, I'll give it to you because this is big and you guys didn't know this. The place he would go to Congress with this power, you finally recall it's called the Tomb of the Fallen One. Do you share that with the group?
Well, since there's such an interest in the Broken Tusk Isles,
Zorndrin.
he more or less kind of goes,
Yes.
well,
When he says that,
here's my 2 coppers, and
What did you call it? Because it cut out after 2.
the Tomb of the Fallen One,
Okay.
in Abyssal, Adrax, translates to the one who fell.
Do I know this? I speak Abyssal.
This is, I'm on this part because you would understand the translation now, yeah. And for you, it kind of starts clicking into place. Like you're like, of course. It's about as good as we get from Montel, folks. Sorry, Nathanael.
Yeah, by the way, like, and I'll stop while going through all of this. His name's fucking Nathanael.
No one asked me my real name.
Montel,
I mean, I
what's
do
your
that.
Just
real
assumed your
name?
name was Montana.
I didn't.
Montel is a stage name.
What's the stage name?
A name an actor goes by, a
Oh,
performer
we're
goes
using our
by.
superhero names. Oh, my bad.
Sorner, by the way, just spoke up. He knew that.
Well,
course you.
My name's not really Grim.
It's not.
It's Grimwald.
Oh, well, we can forgive you.
Okay.
And Donnie stands up, and I am a sheep.
He talks! He talks!
I knew he was smarter than Kieran.
So, yes, you now know that on the rolls and the investigation, you have a good idea that this tomb of Adrax, the tomb of the fallen one, is what is beneath Broken Tusk Island.
So I guess we're going to Broken Tusk Island now.
Well, that was always the case, wasn't it? Now we just
No.
have a better reason to.
Now remember, because the tomb is a different location than Nilheim. Those are two separate things.
Yeah.
So I just remind you of that.
So we have Tomb of Fallen Deed and whatnot, and Nilheim. Nilheim
Which
is
one's
quite bad.
this is quite bad.
Tomb of the Fallen Fucker, very bad. So two very bad. We gotta deal with them.
Is one
How
of
we
them
gonna
more
do this?
pressing? Because this
Yes.
sounds like a
This is the
rescue
more
mission.
pressing one.
Rescue
They
mission.
have the book.
This is the more pressing one.
Yeah, I'll also relay that they have
The Clothic Inferno.
the clothing.
Oh,
Okay.
so now it's even more pressing than it was
So it's
before.
even
Yeah.
worse.
Book. Yes. Book.
Yes, Sandra?
No, that was, going to say, we have a known issue with a missing person state. I kind of know where this thing is, where they call it home. So let's do the known issue of missing person is the more pressing issue.
Okay, Stephen Hawking.
the missing person is also my mother.
You have a mom.
Even more pressing.
Sounds like that's our job, yeah?
Would we know a way to get to, like, I messaged Captain Ella, could an airship get up to there? Would we know anything about that?
It could. The air drifts come, the air currents coming off the Cloudfine Mountains are rough, but a steadied hand could ride the currents low enough, like drop down. I'm talking like less than 100 feet nape of the earth, and skim the water to a point where the air currents move around Broken Tusk Island. But you would be very visible, and you would be very vulnerable.
This is an area of smugglers, right? I remember that being
Broken
semi-established.
Tusk Island is a way for smugglers. Yes.
I could maybe get us, to where we're visible, but we blend in. If we sign the ship as a smuggling ship.
Go on a smuggling ship.
Roll me a history check, Monta.
Advantage because
Yes.
dealing with smuggling. 12.
There is a supply line from the coast near Broken Tusk through Clothier to Iron Haven. There's kind of like a small private wharf there where certain easily swayed people run supply missions to and from Broken Tusk.
I'm just gonna tell everyone this.
So we have to go back up to Iron Haven and then go around and catch a boat.
Okay.
You still have a little over a day
Before she
Eleanor
would
will
get
return to.
Right.
Here's a question. Would with the contact I was supposed to have here in Port Blayven have gone up there? Would that be a reasonable connection considering he was a port master here? He hopped from a port to a port.
Based on 18. That's actually a very sound conjecture. When Gravik fell, when the coterie here broke and then became remade to its true intent under your friend Sorndrin,
Mhm.
a lot of the ones who still remain would have jumped ship and you know there is a smuggling line that runs up the coast that would take him, almost to that full, to that wharf as well.
If we get to this wharf, old friend of mine owes me a favor.
So what's the fastest way to get there right now?
Airship. Airship's still gonna be the fastest way, even with it taking a day to get here. But if we're trying to go over water,
So, you can teleport to Iron Haven, which is instantaneous. Kvathir is a little over a day's ride to the northwest, and then you've got about a day and a half to go to Kvathir to the shore. If you're taking a ship straight north, hugging the coast, it's about a 4 to 5 day boat ride north. On a sky ship, once you get past the Far Shadow Pass, the Twin Peak, the Twin Mountain Range that you move through going to Iron Haven, and get north of that, that's when she has to kind of start dipping down, and she can still keep her same velocity, but it's a lot more dangerous. It'll still be about the same, it'd cut about a 5-day journey to a 3-day journey. Going wide, but you would have to wait for a little over a day for her to get here, so you're still at 4 days.
so it's 4 days, 4 days, or 4 days.
4 days, 4 days, or 4 days, essentially, yeah. It's almost like you're done your plan.
And plus, if nothing else, at least then we know the ship captain we're riding with.
Essentially,
That's-
land, sea, and air. Those are your 3 choices.
If we wait for the airship, we know who we're riding with. We don't have to worry about them stabbing us in the back.
The safest
I like
route
that.
wise is via land. The safest journey wise is on the airship, if that they not maybe the safest route. The most direct and quickest route is via the water, but that is neither safe nor safest for journey nor route, because there you could run into everything else or that kind of stuff.
Because you're dealing with both sea.
Sea and people.
Yeah. I want to be able to help your mother. We need to be alive to do that. I would suggest still going by air.
I would agree.
Question,
Yes.
what do we do about the kids while we're gone?
We can hire somebody.
Hire someone to come watch them.
What are you looking at him for?
He's the one that brought him here, so I'm just, we haven't found a solution.
No,
No,
I'll go to
so
Faeterra's
we
later.
hired Eddie, good.
Hire a nanny, yes.
Okay.
Speaking of which, has any other guild people showed up today besides Speedo?
He completed the work.
Yeah.
Sordrin has the
Barely
bill
has kids.
over there.
Oh,
Sargent has the bill.
Even fixed the hole in the roof, apparently.
So
There was a hole in the roof?
Apparently. It's been repaired
Yeah.
now.
room board had it
So-
in disarray for so long.
That's my tablet.
That's present.
would Speedy have also put up a,
You go bar
Because-
your window. You wanted the lattice.
yeah, I wanted basically a ladder up and down for paint, for plants to grow on.
So we're doing airship.
Somebody's having a
Not me.
connection.
That's me. That was my tablet.
Airship's gonna be the
All
best way, and it gives us the day to get everything we need together.
We do need
Okay.
the council. The council wants to speak with us at some point.
I thought they wanted to do that yesterday.
No, it's been a long. That
Speaking
was
of the
good.
council, I spoke to Halifar,
Yeah.
to see what needed to be done to get a teleportation circle set up here.
Mhm.
It's a simple case of go fill out paperwork and then a fee of